go through the day. I'll give you the latest news, the latest from the press conferences yesterday, Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence in particular. But I tell you what we're going to do when we come back. Because I realize that and stuff's available on demand now, so that's great. That's good for all y'all if you want to revisit or go back or find something. But so many of you are up and going now, and we lose you at 6:45 or at 7 o'clock or at different times. And so what we're going to do is re-cue Breakfast with Pacelli from Monday morning. We're going to choose to stay in victory formation all the way to Thursday. So we come back. It's Dan and I's conversation with the big fella. We're going all four. We're here for you this morning. The Riley Report. We're going to get an extended edition of college football talk with the former ACC Player of the Week. We'll get the injury updates from the sports world with Doc Kevin Murphy today. Got lots of Jags sound to share with you. The latest on the baseball front, the Hicken clan certainly happy. What a night that must have been in Citi Field. Mets with Daniel Murphy throwing out the first pitch and their closer locking it down on the last one. Mets win 4-1. And so they got to experience a little history, E.T. Citi Field's a relatively new ballpark, probably 15 years old. First time the Mets have won a clincher at home in all that time. So when they've clinched playoff berths or when they or to actually win a playoff series, first time they won a playoff series at their new ballpark. So, boy, that magic postseason momentum that continues to shine on the Mets. Yankees also a winner last night. Oh, a Subway Series. That sounds nauseating. Anyway, back with a recue of both the look at the first win, what went right, and what goes into the trip to London every year. So if you haven't got a chance to hear Breakfast with Pacelli, you do next. Thanks for being up and at 'em with us. It's a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. You're listening to The Drill.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here. Spend 2 hours talking teal every day on Jaguars Today. With Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
At Garber Auto Mall, we can wiggle it. Best price, we can wiggle it. Best trade value, we can wiggle it. Best payment, we can wiggle it. Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. With 8 American brands, we can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or online at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank NA, member FDIC.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
He thinks he knows what he's talking about.
Of course.
Find out if he does.
Is there anything else we need to know?
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Franchi Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Integrity, persistence, and standing up for victims. It's what you want in a personal injury case and what my friend and lawyer Glenn Cohen brings to every case for over 40 years. Call Glenn at Barnes, Cohen, and Sullivan.
Poker players, brace yourselves. The World Poker Tour storms into Best Bet Jacksonville October 31st to November 19th, and the forecast calls for massive prize pools. Event 1 has a cool $200,000 guarantee. Event 6, a downpour of $300,000. And the main event, a flood of a $1 million guarantee. WPT Championship satellites are already brewing. Don't get left high and dry. Head to bestbetjacks.com for details. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a gravy taster from Jacksonville, Florida, me, Dennis Mosley.
Hi, Ken.
Okay, Dennis. 100 plumbers surveyed, top answer on the board. What does it mean if someone says your home has hard water?
It's made of ice? Let's see. Hard water. Oh, is it club soda mixed 4-to-1 with vodka?
Last chance, Dennis. What is hard water?
Oh, is it that lime scale stuff that makes my taps all crusty?
That's right, Dennis. And a water treatment system from Bueller Air and Plumbing will eliminate troublesome lime-scale deposits that can ruin your expensive appliances and let your neighbors know for sure that you are cool.
I wonder if I can get me a gin and tonic faucet.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah. Now he's got a teal jacket, which probably, I think it looks better than the gold jacket.
We covered your back there, by the way, big fella. We covered your back, and we didn't break, quote unquote, the story last week when we could have, because of your big mouth there, sitting there with our interview. So we see how we protected you there.
Well, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I know. I'm not looking for, I'm just further emboldening the trust you can have in us.
I love the teal jacket.
It's sharp looking.
I think it's, man, they did a great job.
That is nice. It's got some nice little features.
Let me tell you what, that's not a cheap custom jacket.
No.
Very, 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 very nice and cool little. I mean, no one could see this, but the lining, each lining of the jacket is unique to the guy.
Very nice.
And it's pictures of us playing and stuff. So it was a great job. It was great. It was great to see Tom and his whole family, and and to get the win. It was perfect.
And the uniforms, by the way, we need to go back to those full time. Those are fantastic.
They're good.
They're better. They're just better.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to be the old guy.
Yeah,
like
but they are. They're better.
But they're better. They're better looking. I'm telling you, if I was king, we would have the old throwbacks like those things. But our home jerseys would be teal and white, and our road jerseys would be white on white. I mean, nothing else.
Yeah.
I mean, you would know if we're on the road, we're in all white. We're at home, we're in teal, except for September when it's hotter than you know what.
Yeah.
Then we're in white, and we're making them wear dark jerseys.
Tony,
I'm not a big all this different color combination guy.
Yeah,
that's just me.
What size is that jacket on you, big fella, these days? What size are we wearing?
This was a custom one. I have no idea.
You have no idea. They just measured you and gave it to you.
Measured it and gave it to me.
Wow.
They did a good job.
Very nice. Look good.
Why is to our untrained amateur eyes, Tony, just based on the time that Trevor has to run, some of the lanes that are opening in the run game, it sure seems like the O-line has maybe had its best game and a half in a while this last couple of weeks. Is that accurate? And if so, Is there something noticeable to you why it's happening?
Well, I'll say this. The last 2 weeks, I thought the offensive line played really, really well. There's moments, we talked about last week, there's moments in every game where it's not going to be perfect. It's football. But for back-to-back weeks, I thought the 5 guys up front played winning football. And I thought it was a dominating effort on Sunday. I mean, when you can give up one pressure, and I even question whether there was even a pressure. I mean, okay, Trevor had scramble out because nothing was open down the field. That's not a real pressure. And then they ran the ball. They're double teams. They're finishing. My big criticism the first 3 weeks of the guys up front was one of the tackles weren't playing at the level they should, the talent level. And I didn't think it was a group that finished blocks. And whatever Phil Rauscher is doing, and whatever he communicated in that room, the guys are buying in. Because let me tell you what, the last 2 weeks, that's a physical group. They're physical. They're coming off the ball. They're moving people, great on double teams, moving guys up to the next level. And they're creating space for Tank, who's running like a maniac. And then you give Trevor time. And I like what I thought what Press did was really smart this week. If you look at the first quarter.
Stop right there. What?
Yeah, gave him some
it's
layups.
Amazing how good,
gave him some
layups. Amazing
layups.
how good the play calling is when the plays that are there are connected.
But I know where you're headed, Tony. Early, they gave him some layups. Let him get comfortable. Let him get some success.
What we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Give him some layups. Let him see it. I explained it like this on the Monday night show with Pete. It's like a 3-point shooter, and you guys are big NBA fans, much bigger than I am. But sometimes these 3-point shooters just can't hit the broadside of a barn. Well, what do? Well, get him in the lane, try to get a layup, try to get him fouled.
Get to the free throw line,
Get the free throw line. Let's see the ball go through the net and to get that confidence. And I thought what Press did was really smart. He said, what we're going to do? We're going to make it simple for you. We're not going to, early, if the first one's not there, check it down. If it's not there, just check it down. Just get a completion. Let's move. And then his guys helped him. You look at the run after the catch, the physicality, especially by all three backs. All three backs caught things short and broke tackles and got 5, 6, 8 yards. And all of a sudden now Trevor's in a rhythm, that combined with protection. And now you can start taking the shots. And you can he starts, seeing completions and he takes some shots, great play calls, great design, taking advantage of the coverage. And it was a great game. They played outstanding. I mean, he had one bad decision.
Yeah.
He tried to force it into Brian Thomas. That's going to happen because you got so much confidence in the kid. You're like, hey, let's take another shot. And it was a bad decision. Outside of that, I thought he played outstanding. But it's a team effort. Offense is about everyone doing their job. When you block like that, when you run crisp routes, when you run the ball the way they did, quarterback is sharp, you're going to have success, and that's what they did. I give everyone in that building a ton of credit. I thought the game plan was great. I thought the line played good. The guys were physical. That's the brand of football you need to play. Be more physical than the guys across from you, and that's what they did. I thought on both sides of the ball, frankly.
All right, let me ask you this question. I don't know if you've went back and looked at the plays.
I have.
Okay, so on Tank's first touchdown run, how good of a play, because it looks like it's a great play to me by Ezra Cleveland in this respect. The ball's on the 19. Ezra hits one of the guys up front, like they double team the tackle. He peels off him, hits the linebacker, right? Then Bigsby gets through the hole. He gets hit about the 13. Here comes old Ezra at about the 11. And Ezra pushed him all the way down to
There's
the
that physicality Tony's
all the
talking
way
about.
down to the 3-yard line and threw him into the end zone. I think he gets an assist on that one. That was a terrific play by the Jaguars guard. Yes.
Well, it's called. That's what you finished the play.
Yeah.
You didn't buy a ticket to watch.
Yes.
And no one watched.
Yes.
And Ezra on that play, great double team, works up to the next level, gets a block.
Yes.
Got to give Tank credit because he bounced off like 18 people, it felt like, just driving those legs. But Ezra didn't quit on it. He kept on pushing the pile, pushing defenders off Tank. And he scored. Now, we got fortunate. The ball bounced our way because that would have been a fumble.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay. I mean, that's the one thing that I think Tank needs to continue to work on is ball security. I think everyone kind of holds their breath sometimes because he's so physical. He's always trying to finish, and you got to be smart with that football. But, yeah, I thought it was just – that was epitomized the type of physicality you want to play with.
All right.
Because, it's blocked well enough for probably 5-6 yards, but then your back is just driving, and then your line is continuing to push, and that's how you get big plays.
Interesting at the end, I thought. Last series, most important series, games tied. We look up. We'll talk about the defense in a second. In a way, it was great for Trevor because he also had to throw a game-winning drive on top of everything else, and he made some nice passes, including one to Kirk. That was great throw, great catch. But no ETN. No ETN on that last drive at all. I get Bigsby, but I don't get Dearness Johnson and no ETN. I don't get that.
Well, I don't know if his shoulders bother him. I don't know what the situation is. I think they put Dearness in the last run before the kick.
He was going in and out, Tone. They were
no,
shuffling.
I know he was, but
Yeah.
I think they put him in at the last one because I think they felt more confident with his ball security.
More than ETN?
Tony, I think you
guess.
hit it, dude. I think he's banged up, and they're running good enough with Bigsby that they don't want to take a shot. They probably feel like they could put any running back on any practice squad in the league and run it up the middle for a yard. So that would be my guess, but I don't know, and they won't tell you.
Well,
so,
yeah, I don't know exactly what it is either.
Yeah,
but not to. I told you.
I will say this, Tony. I mean, it's
but
the kind
at
of
the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
I made the comment that I thought Tank Bigsby was our best.
Yeah,
running back.
it's the kind of analysis that really should have you doing a show every afternoon with Uncle Shay. I mean, last year it was the 25 combined sacks. This year it's Bigsby's the better running back. I mean, next year give us one that ends in the Super Bowl.
I did.
Dan made fun of me.
That's why you're the Hall of Famer.
I got heat across the board.
Yeah.
I still think ETN's you watch ETN and some of the pass and some of the tackles he broke. I mean, he's really good in the passing game. I think ETN does a number of things well, and he ran hard. But when you look at the physicality and the finish and the explosiveness, I'll go back a perfect example. We run a toss crack, the long run that Tank had for a touchdown.
Okay.
This is where it's more about players than play calls. And obviously the coaches have put you in the right position. But that play was defensed and read at the snap by that defense.
Right.
That play was supposed to go outside. They defended it. They had it stacked up. That should have been loss. And Bigsby plants his left foot, sees a seam, and then runs through arm tackles. And next thing you know, he's in the end zone. I mean, it was a great individual play. Now, everyone blocked and kept on fighting, but the Colts were in the right position. They diagnosed the play. But because people on the backside were finishing and fighting, so now that cuts off the pursuit, even though the front side was nowhere to go, Tank, sees it, hits it, and next thing you know is in the end zone. So I don't know what's going on with ETN, but I know this. Bigsby's playing high-level football right now.
All right, so we finally got off the Schneider. We got our one. Now we head to London for a couple of games back-to-back. Just your opinion, Tony, on what the London trip, is for this football team. Has it become somewhat of an advantage because of the routine of going there every year and often facing teams that don't? Just like how different a couple of weeks this is for Jacksonville, and why? Trevor is what now 3-1 in London. Why have the Jags kind of turned the corner? It seems to be a trip where they've won more than lost the last few years.
I don't think there's any advantage, especially week one, because everyone travels, everyone has the same schedule, both teams. You get over there Friday, whatever. I do think there's probably a little bit of advantage the second game because you're over there, you're acclimated to everything. It's kind of a more normal week, and we've done it so many times. So I think there might be a slight advantage in that second game because other teams flying over. And I think there's something just to believing you're going to play well and confidence in even if it's not a real advantage, if you believe it is, I think that just, it bodes well for you. So, you go over there, listen, you're 1-4 and I like how they won. It would have been nice, part of you thinks, oh boy, the defense just blew it at the end. We should have walked into the victory lane. But it's also something said to go have to, gut one out and make plays when it counts. And they did that. And so I think that'll help, but you're still 1-4. You're in a deep hole and you got to dig out, and you got two games in London. you figure out a way to go win those two. You come back at 3-4, and everything feels different. Now, the problem is you play, I think, a underrated Chicago Bears team.
They're good.
That is a really good defense.
Yep.
I mean, a very good defense and an offense that's starting to get it going a little bit. And if you don't pressure Caleb Williams and take advantage of that suspect offensive line the Bears have, boy, you saw what happened yesterday against the Panthers. They put up a bunch of points, and with that defense, that's a good football team. And so you got to find a way to get to the rookie quarterback, and because what we've seen this year is if you can get to him, move him off the spot, he's going to be erratic and run around and do crazy stuff. Because I think this is a tough matchup. This is a tough defense, and this is where you got to play really good complementary football and go find a way to get a win.
The defense, as we wrap up, Tone, it's concerning. The pass defense. Give me a quick synopsis on what's going on there.
Well, I thought they played really good football for 3 quarters.
You did?
And then they gave up 24 in the fourth.
24 points in the fourth quarter. Wow.
It was like, man, this team's playing, opening drive was no good. This team, for whatever reason, this defense does not start well for the most part. And
those guys were so wide open on that first drive, and then did they make an adjustment? Because then for 2 quarters, they were covered, and then they weren't.
Yeah, I thought during the game, I'm like, why did Indy stop pushing the ball down the field? Because everything was, dink dunk. And the reality is, it was really good coverage. I watched the tape. I'm like, heck, this is why. Because there wasn't a lot of stuff, and the rush started getting there a little bit, started kind of gaining. It wasn't like there weren't free guys coming, but both Trayvon and Josh were really squeezing the pocket with good power rushes. And then, they did a good job. And then in the fourth quarter, I don't understand how you, when you have a 14-point lead, how you allow them to get behind you.
Right.
I thought the second deep one to 14, I can't think of his name right now, the wide receiver. Pierce, thank you. I think it was a busted coverage. It's an over route. It looked like the backside corner jumped underneath, and so Cisco's trying to cover a bunch of field. I don't know if it was or not. That's what it looked like. But you just can't let guys get behind you like that. And in those situations, it's situational football. It's like make them burn clock, make them eat it up, and for whatever reason, that didn't happen. So, Ryan Nielsen, I'm sure, was just beside himself, and they're going to have to clean that up and figure out where the errors were. And because you played great defense for 3 quarters, but you got to finish. You can't give up 24 in the fourth, obviously. But they did a good job. Listen, they won the football game. We've talked about this. It's hard to win in the NFL.
Yeah.
Just go figure out how to win. It doesn't have to be pretty. Go make plays. And I thought that's what the guys did. At the end of the day, I think if you look at this game, it wasn't perfect, especially in the fourth quarter on defense. But when you needed to make a big play, I think the biggest play of the game might have been Trayvon's sack at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
Because that's probably a 6-point flip. Because the Colts with one more first down, maybe 2, are going to be in field goal range.
Well, we had to make up for Doug's earlier mistake. So,
what mistake is that?
Not taking the
4th
points.
and 2, and not taking
won't take the points. Take the points. At the end of the game, you never give up the lead if you just kick that field goal.
Yeah, I said it on the air. I thought I would have taken the points in the first drive, and then I would have gone for it.
Yes.
The
short
one.
You know what?
Yes.
It's time for all of us to recognize.
I agree.
It's time for all of us to recognize. Never, ever, ever get to the I would have gone for it then. We never get it. Kick them both.
Well, I guess
take the points. I hear you. I know what you're saying exactly. We need to resist our own urge ever, ever, ever on 4th down to not just take our points.
Well, I disagree with that.
I know you do. I don't. I used to. I don't anymore.
Okay, that's fair. What I would love to know is what did the analytics say in each situation? I'm just curious. I mean, because and I don't know exactly what Doug's philosophy is, if he goes with the analytics all the time, or if he's going with his gut, or game situation, or what. But I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, they went for it on 4th and 2. I thought it was a long 2 too, and they didn't get it. And then they're in the back right down there, and they decided to punt it. I mean, not punt it. Decided to kick the field goal, and I don't know the analytics. I was just going by my gut feeling.
Sure.
And who knows if that's right or wrong.
No, analytics would say go there.
The analytics would have said.
They would have said go. How could they not? That was completely out of character. Yes. They're doing these.
Yeah,
you can't play football for your whole life and think these are good choices unless there's just somebody saying math is math. You can't. Nobody in the world thinks you go for it 4th and 1 on your own 29-yard line. And these guys are doing it every week. Seattle did it yesterday. These jokers are going 4th and short on their own 30. It's asinine.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah.
But no, in fairness, Doug didn't do that yesterday.
No, but he has.
Yeah,
those are, I promise you, those are go. They never say don't.
I think that's right.
Right? I mean, they never say don't. I'm just assuming that that's the only reason these guys, the only one they want is Andy Reid. He gets his points, boy. And it matters. Again, the end of the game yesterday, if they kick the field goals, the game is they never tie it. They're always 3 behind. I don't know. Weird. Of course, then we may have sat on the ball, punted, and lost.
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I could go back and, there's a couple plays that if the Colts make, it could be a different game.
Yeah.
And so that's football. But here's the difference. We made the plays when we had to yesterday.
Yes.
And that's why we won. We had not done that this year. And everyone wants to point fingers all the time. It's the quarterback. It's the play calling.
Sure.
It's the offensive line. It's this. And those are fair analysis after reviewing tape and watching it. I think it's very fair to have honest conversations of where they failed and didn't do a good job.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it really comes down to when the opportunity is there, you got to make the play. And they hadn't done that this year.
And they did it yesterday. Yeah.
When the opportunities were there, they made the play.
A bunch of them.
And they made a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And they did. And here's the thing: the players even went above and beyond the actual play design at times, where they broke tackles, or they held blocks longer. They whatever. Same on defense. Getting strip sacks and just doing the little things and executing when you have to. And that's winning football. And if this team can continue to do this, they are more than talented enough to really string some victories together, and we'll see what happens. Listen, the odds are stacked against you. Only one team has gone 0-4 and made the playoffs.
Sure.
But you have an extra game now with 17, and so go play this thing out. But it starts this week. You got to go figure out how to go beat a good Chicago Bears team.
0-4 was 1.5% to make the playoffs. I got good news for everyone. 1-4. We're up to 6%. 1-4 teams, 6%
climbing.
make the playoffs.
We got to go, Tony. Thanks, buddy.
Tony, appreciate it. Safe travels to London. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, guys. See you.
There he goes. Pride of the Jaguars. Hall of Famer, Tony Baselli.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
This is Brent Musburger's VSIN Action Update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Florida Gators visit Tennessee to meet the Volunteers at Neyland Stadium on Saturday. The Volunteers are 15.5-point favorites, 55.5 the total. Florida has won 17 of its last 19 against the Vols. Florida State off until they visit Duke on Friday, October the 18th. In the NFL tonight, Thursday Night Football, the 49ers are a 3.5-point favorite of the Seattle Seahawks, 49.5 the total. Seahawks look to end a 5-game losing streak to the 49ers. The London series, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Jacksonville Jaguars a 2-point underdog against the Chicago Bears, 44.5 the total. Bet smarter with Juice Reel. It's free in the App Store. Juice, R-E-E-L. Mike Sennett, 1010XL.
Hurricane season is here, and if you own or run a business, you must protect your valuable property from parking lot floods. Call Duck Rooter, your storm drain maintenance experts. Our VACCON team specializes in regular storm drain maintenance to keep your property safe and secure. With Duck Rooter, you can trust our professionals to keep your storm drains clear, preventing floods and ensuring the well-being of your customers and employees. Call us today at 904-862-6769 to schedule your storm drain maintenance. Visit DuckRooter.com for more information.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime, powertrain, and 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give them the chance to earn your business today on Atlantic Boulevard or at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O.
If you want high-quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
Don't be sidelined from an injury that keeps you out of the game. Get the care the pros receive. Now available at Injury Care Centers, newly FDA regenerative treatments that will significantly shorten your recovery time. Sprains, strains, fractures, post-op surgeries, cut your recovery time in half or shorter. Masking pain just makes it worse. Fix it now. Call 904-783-0008. That's 904-783-0008. Injury care starts at Injury Care Centers.
Weekends were made for sports, and I'll tell you my take on this weekend's best options. Hicken here. Watch for Weekend with Dan on YouTube and Facebook. Weekend with Dan is brought to you by Stone Core. We do outdoors better.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Aren't you just happy when you can handle all your needs in one location? Well, introducing Allstate agent Mandy Bowers in Mandarin. Whether it's home, life, business, or auto, Mandy covers it all. In fact, bundling policy is a great way to add extra savings. Mandy and her crew can do that. Allstate is offering lower auto insurance rates this year. Mandy can do that. You need to give Mandy Bowers a call in her Mandarin office, because when it comes to getting it all done under one roof, Mandy can do that.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
Yo, it's your boy E.T. Have you been betting and winning on MyBookie.com? If you haven't bet with MyBookie yet, they're still running that double deposit bonus. Just sign up using my promo code 1010XL. We're on to NFL Week 6. There are a ton of college matchups that run through the weekend. Get some skin in the game. You should certainly have your eye on the spread for Florida, Tennessee on Saturday night. Then you know we play the Bears to kick off NFL Sunday morning, and we're probably going to be a slight underdog. If you think we can win in London, bet it. But then the surging Commanders play the Ravens, the Cowboys play the Lions, and then for Sunday Night Football, the Bengals are traveling to New York to play the Giants. For a limited time, my bookie is still running that double deposit bonus. Use promo code 1010XL to claim that bonus. That doubles your money on your very first deposit. You heard that right. Double your money using promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Make this season your winning season with my bookie. Come on, somebody.
There's nothing like a perfect cigar shared among friends. On October 12th from 1 to 4 p.m., join us at Tobacco Cove for an unforgettable Aganorsa Leaf event. Meet the man behind the brand, Terrence Riley. There will be tasty food, great prizes, and exclusive deals on Aganorsa Leaf cigars. It's all happening at 3849 Bay Meadows Road. Come for the cigars, stay for the experience at Tobacco Cove.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguar head coach Doug Peterson doesn't expect the storm to delay the team's trip to London.
Now with this storm coming in, it's not going to affect us much, but it could affect just some timing trying to get out.
The Jag head coach has shared with his defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen about shoring up the secondary.
We've had conversation about that, and we as coaches, we got to make sure that we communicate obviously better with our players and making sure they understand the situation of the game.
Suspended Jacksonville safety Tajon Gibson Sr. will travel with the team to London. Jaguar head coach Doug Peterson revealed on Wednesday Gibson was handed a 6-game suspension in July for violating the league's performance-enhancing drug policy. That's your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguar update. I'm Sam Nelson.
XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, up and at 'em on a custom tree surgeons Thursday. Did a little weather check in the breakie. Yeah, checked on the weather. By that, I mean, I stood in the middle of the parking lot.
Oh, yeah?
Got to gauge the things. I got a little bit of wind out there. Just a little gusty, kind of maybe 15, 20, maybe. Didn't feel more than that. Not a drop of rain. A little chilly almost, Steve, for the first time this year, or at least in a while. I can almost say it could flirt with chilly in the next few days. Dodged a bullet for the most part, but if there are those of you dealing with flooding, especially coastal, maybe more to the south, Godspeed to you as we keep it rolling here on a custom tree surgeons Thursday. Survive and advance. Well, that's what the New York Metropolitans did last night. I don't know what the word is for it, E.T. I was trying to sum up the word. What's like like what's the word that, man, I wish that was me, but it's not jealousy. You know what I mean? Like jealousy is like has a negative tinge to it, right? So it's not like I'm jealous of that hairy bear sitting just, 40 feet from the field with Daniel Murphy watching the Mets survive and advance. I'm not jealous of that, and like in a bitter way. But man, that sure looked fun. I am not on Twitter, as you know, Twitterless Jeff, but I'm not afraid to stalk it a little bit. And one of my buddies sent me video from the stands of the final out from the Mets game last night with Hick and Boy King, but you know how if you send video phone to phone, and if you don't have the same phones, it'll be all blurry for one of you. Everyone out there has experienced that, haven't they?
Yeah.
Just doesn't like doesn't coordinate or whatever. The video I got, and just like in a group text, it was all paneled and stuff. I couldn't see it exactly. I got the gist. But, looking today, there now, I can see, it's those three. It's the Boy King, it's Hick, and it's Daniel Murphy. And I got Murph celebrating like a child. He literally is homered in 7 straight of these games. It's joyous. Good for them. Mets win last night, 4-1. Francisco Lindor hit a grand slam. I mean, could it have gone any more perfectly? If you take a trip? I mean, can you imagine? This boy here is just, whisper kissed by angels at night when he sleeps. I don't know what to tell you, man. Falls out of a airplane on a marshmallow. What started as a quick trip to see a Mets game, okay? A quick trip to see a Mets game. We're going to go up. Mets won the first 2. Work Monday after the game. Zip, going to get up there on Tuesday. I'll be off Tuesday, Wednesday. Going to go to the Mets game Tuesday night. Fly back Wednesday, LGM. Let's go Mets, right? Flies up. Okay, now storm's coming through. It throws everything into chaos. It's hard to get back and forth. You don't have a way to do it. So, maybe if the Mets win, we'll just go to another game anyway. They go up, boom, win the first game. Then he hears from Murph is coming up because they've asked him to throw out the first pitch of last night's game 4. And then Murph had extra tickets, so he's going to give Hicken tickets. So sure, and by the way, there's no way you're traveling back in here anyway, right? Or it would have been difficult at least.
Right.
And by the way, the Jags travel has been affected a little bit. It's changed a little bit since yesterday. Not a massive change, but they will have to leave a little bit later to the point that some of tomorrow's media stuff has been canceled in London. So I don't think they're going to push it. That storm is moving away from us, the direction they'll be flying, right? I don't know exactly how that affects flight patterns and all. But anyway, back to the Mets. So then, by the way, Mets Hall of Famer Daniel Murphy is your host. As he throws out the first pitch, I see her on Twitter. They're standing right there on the field as Murph does that. I mean, this is like baseball fantasy camp stuffy. And then you stay for the game. You have great seats. You're hanging out. You're talking ball. You're with your son on one side and a baseball laboratory rat on the other. And you watch Francisco Lindor, who's carried you all year long, hit the deciding grand slam. You see your closer close it out.
Oh, he hit a granny?
Yeah, it's just and you win both games. You move on to the NLCS in just an unbelievable atmosphere with just great company and family. I mean, are you kidding me?
That got to be like top 3.
Oh, number one, buddy.
Number 1?
Yes.
Sports moments?
1,000,000%, dude. 1,000,000%. With all due respect to the Drew Dog and whatever they've done when he was younger, for all due respect to trips to World Series and Gator national titles, Final Fours, and Super Bowls, that was it, buddy. Number one, 100%. 100. It'd be like me going and watching the Braves close it out with my two boys sitting next to Dale Murphy. Or Chipper Jones talking ball. Yeah. Pretty good. Good work if you can get it. I got to be I'm not going to lie. If it were me, Jags are in London to hockey sticks with you, eat hockey sticks with you, Pross. I'm going to San Diego. Just don't go singing. That's what it is.
I see what you did there.
So the Mets beat the Phillies last night. As I said, I can accept it. Having not lost to either one of them, the Mets have been in the Braves rearview mirror for years. It's the Phillies that you get a little extra ha-ha. It's not that easy, is it, tough guy? The Braves have been in that Philly spot. It's not an easy spot to be in. It's a whiner, loser way to look at it, so I never will, right? Publicly, I'm not going to ever use it as an excuse, but there may be something to rest versus rust. And these teams that get the top seeds are being dispatched by the teams that got momentum and that are on a roll. And we just saw it again right there with the Mets and the Phillies. Now, the Padres missed an opportunity last night. Up 2-1 in their series at home. Dodgers smoked them. So they'll go back to L.A. for Game 5. And then the Mets will wait word. Do they head to San Diego or they head to L.A.? They'll go to SoCal one way or the other. Now just a step away from going to the World Series, a team that was 11 games under 500, and that this guy, literally, legitimately, not ha-ha, anything else will happen, had a funeral for him. And it wasn't this team should be playing better. Here's a nudge funeral. I know somebody that did one of those a couple years back, where publicly in a bit you have a funeral, privately with your friends, your real baseball heart thinks you still have a chance. He did not think that. I know both sides of that. I couldn't prod him into taking interest in the wild card race when I tried. He looked at me like I was just kind of talking down to him, like I was being facetious. But I was being serious with the wild card. Yeah, you're out to a I see your Mets are only 2 games under 500, just 4 back in the wild card. We stay. All a distant memory now, and none of that matters. The Mets are onto the NLCS. That lucky so-and-so, man. Come on. We're here fighting hurricanes, working ghost ships. All right. We got the Riley report today, so Riley Skinner will join us. Talk about the week coming up in football. We'll get the injury updates with Doc Kevin Murphy. That's coming up next hour as well. The rest of the baseball, by the way, yesterday, Detroit wins at home, so they're up on the Guardians. There's another one of those rest versus rust. Cleveland had a bye, sat around. Detroit got hot, went and won at Houston, and now they're up 2-1 with a chance to close out at home. Royals, meanwhile, did lose to the Yankees yesterday in a 1-run game, so that stings. They'll try and stay alive at home in Game 4. So one of those top 2 seeds is already out, the Phillies, who had the rest. A second, the Guardians, could very well be headed there. Yankees up 2-1. Dodgers, Padres tied 2-2, headed back for a decisive Game 5 in LA. All right, I'm going to dive back into the Jaguars, get you caught up to date on the latest details on a trip to London this weekend. Initially this weekend, we'll stretch, of course, into a 2-week stay. All right, so we'll do some of that when we come back on the other side. We will also have a football fix for you a little bit later this morning as I'm shuffling some stuff around, but lots of news from the National Football League. The Thursday night game gets this week's schedule kicked off. And plenty of personnel news from around the NFL as well. So we got a lot on our plate here on a Thursday. Assuming and hoping that things find you safe and sound out there. It feels like for the most part we dodged it. I mean, I'll just speak for myself and where I am. This was much, 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 much tamer than even what Helene brought a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully that's a similar story for the rest of you out there. Meanwhile, you can reach out and touch us in the familiar ways. The text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 641-1010. That's also the number to the studio. And really super old school, it's The Drill at 1010XL.com.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here. It's like overtime, regardless of the score.
There's no overtime.
No overtime? No. The window world of Northeast Florida, 5th quarter.
Oh, wow.
After the game, join hacker Leon and Coach Campo. Presented by Von Rowan Law on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Let me get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. Johns County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, you need to get screened for colon cancer. Ask your doctor about getting a colonoscopy. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. Borland Groover recently expanded into St. Johns County. The new and advanced surgery center and medical office is open in Durbin Crossing. Visit BorlandGroover.com for a location near you. Remember, 45 is the new 50. Get screened today with Borland Groover.
When it comes to selling your home, it can be stressful. Take the stress out with my friends, Chad and Sandy Newman. Maybe you're worried you won't sell your home for the price you need. How's this for a guarantee? Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they'll buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Mortgage rates are down, creating more active buyers and sellers. And if you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home. Take Kim in Palm Coast. I needed to move closer to family ASAP, but I had to sell my Palm Coast home first. I tried and failed with another agent. So my family said, you got to call Chad and Sandy. Well, sure enough, as promised, Chad and Sandy did it. They sold my home in 3 days, above asking price. Call the local Jacksonville experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy today at 904-414-6200 or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hello, I'm Malcolm Anthony. I've been practicing criminal defense law for over 40 years. It's what I love to do, what I do well. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 2854-LAW. 2854-LAW for Malcolm Anthony.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
Homeowners, listen up. The Fed has taken action, lowering rates for the first time in years, and Loan Pronto has followed suit by lowering mortgage rates big time. Prosser here. Loan Pronto just locked in a homeowner at 4.59% APR, the lowest in 2 years. Whether you got your loan last month or last year, it's time to call Loan Pronto and dump that high-rate loan. You can lock in a lower rate fast with virtually no paperwork and usually no appraisal. There's no limit on how many times you can refi, so get started. Even if you're in process with another lender, give Loan Pronto a call. If you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Purchase loans available as well, so call now. Get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, MLSconsumeraccess.org.
Anytime I need to send flowers for any reason to anybody, there's no choice for me but Kuhn Flowers. This is 1010XL's Frank Frangie, and I've used Kuhn Flowers dozens of times over the years. Make Kuhn Flowers your choice for when you need to send a floral arrangement.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by USA Park. FSU defensive coordinator Adam Fuller says blame him for the Noles' defensive struggles this season.
Am I doing enough to get enough people around the ball? Am I putting the right people where the ball's going to get thrown? Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, if it isn't working, it's all on me.
On Wednesday, news came out that the NCAA Division I Council is making another change to high school and college athletics by agreeing to scrap the use of the National Letter of Intent. Instead, looks like they'll just use financial aid, scholarship agreements, and similar agreements going forward. Former Florida coach Steve Spurrier likes the defense of the Gators that they played against UCF and has him thinking it could be a difference when the team faces Tennessee.
Tennessee has played extremely well against the down-the-line teams, but the 2 SEC guys have stopped them fairly much.
That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Currently at 7:05 and it's 73 degrees. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, we're back at 7:05 on a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. Hey, hopefully you're not going to need custom tree surgeons as much as we maybe would have thought as the storm has blown through. It's amazing how slow it seems the approach is. And then once it gets here, it's like, whoosh, it's gone. Now, our friends down along the West Coast there and across Central Florida, it's a different situation entirely. They got absolutely slammed. So I know there are plenty of you. You got friends and family. Some of it's kids in college, and what's happened here with these last 2 is it's just hitting spots where you're normally not super concerned about direct impact, right? When you get to the center of the state, typically by then you're going to have minimized impact. And then I think about Helene. I mean, who in their right mind would ever think that if you were in the mountains of North Carolina, you'd have to worry about being wrecked by a hurricane? I mean, think about that. That's like biblical, once a century kind of destruction. Have you seen some of the shots and video from up there, ET?
Some crazy stuff.
Those mountain roads like up there in North Carolina, and I know a lot of people from here have been up that way, man. It's like our little economical introduction to snow skiing for a lot of people. They go to Boone, North Carolina, those areas. I know we did. We never, we don't hop on a plane and go to where the real good snow skiers go. We do the old southern snow skiing and head up to Appalachia. I know a lot of folks from around here do and have. And, man, some of those roads that you've traveled back in the day are just completely wiped out by that storm. Anyway, moving on to this one, our thoughts with those. And, again, down in that, Port Charlotte to Fort Myers, Sarasota, Tampa, across, Central Florida and Orlando. It just stayed a lot further south of us than it was supposed to. Like I said, it's really not bad out there. And the storm itself, the eye, is well off the East Coast now and moving that way. So the Jags weather, the weather will affect the Jags plans at least just a little bit, at least when it comes to some of the formalities once they get to London, but nothing to throw them off track in their preparations in getting ready for the Chicago Bears. I'm going to circle back to that here in just a second. Let you hear from Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, who both met the media yesterday. First, though, there's this drama in New York. They let a head coach go out of nowhere. Listen, we said it yesterday, and you knew that Aaron Rodgers' response was going to be an insistence of plausible deniability, and he'll do it with righteousness. Well, this is also the same guy that deliberately misrepresents through his words other things. He circled back and in some cases has apologized for the certain way he's characterized or specifically said things in the past, and we won't even go back and dig into all those. So, sorry, Aaron, you've earned kind of this take it with a grain of salt, response from folks, no matter how vehemently you suggest or double down. Some people are really good at giving just the part of the truth that makes them look fine, and you can take the entirety of the situation and leave out any instigative part you had in any portion, not misrepresent anything that you are saying except for the omission of the rest of what was said or done or thought or acted on. So I'm not buying one bit that Aaron Rodgers, no one's saying that he went down the hall, knocked on the door, and demanded it. I'm just saying he got what he wanted. Now, he can deny that. In fact, he did yesterday with Pat McAfee.
Yeah, yesterday was a day that reminds you of the simple fact that all of us who've played know all too well, and that's that it's a tough business. It's a beautiful profession. It's incredible. It's done so much for our lives, but it's also a really tough business. I love Coach Saleh. We have a very solid relationship. We have since, I met him in 2021. And had a nice conversation when they came and visited us for joint practices. He was a big reason why I came to the Jets. I felt like the team, was a solid team. Had a relationship with Coach Hackett, obviously. And I really liked Coach Saleh. Everything that Matt LaFleur said about him, the few interactions I've had, the times that we went against him, I just had a lot of respect for him. And so, it was just a reminder yesterday how tough the business is. I think what people can forget in this is not only is Robert a fantastic human being and a damn good football coach, he's also a family man. He's got 7 kids. He's got an incredible wife. And the business of football can be hard, not just on those of us who are playing and coaching.
And he goes on to say that now we're going to go down this path. Again, everything that Aaron Rodgers just said there, I'm sure is true. I'm sure he's saying genuinely, none of which speaks to whether or not he played a role in, despite all those things, Robert Saleh no longer being the coach of the Jets. And later in the interview went on to say that, well, he resents any implication that he would have based on all these other things that he just said, which, again, are all true. And he could have said quite genuinely. Regardless, the bottom line is this. Does anyone here think that Aaron Rodgers' play is being affected at all by Robert Saleh? Show of hands. E, do you?
Man, no.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers is the 15th ranked quarterback? Listen, all we've done is complain and wring our hands over our quarterback here, Trevor Lawrence, who's been better than Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes statistically to start this season. Mahomes, 6 touchdowns, 6 picks. Aaron Rodgers, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks. Trevor Lawrence has an 88.6 passer rating. Mahomes, same, 88.9. Aaron Rodgers, 81.6. Aaron, maybe the fact you're averaging 6 yards an attempt, have barely 1,000 yards passing through 5 games, have just 7 touchdowns and 4 picks, and you have a passer rating that is 81.6, perhaps, that's why the Jets are 2-3. Maybe that's it. Aaron Rodgers clearly doesn't have MVP-level football left in him. If he did, we would have seen some. We wouldn't be losing at home to the Denver Broncos. We wouldn't be throwing interceptions and making mistakes that don't look at all like what's on our film, on the tape the Jets watched before they went and got us and made sure we got all that money. No, Aaron Rodgers is playing, more like Zach Wilson than the Aaron Rodgers that the Jets watched play in Green Bay. And so unless and until he wants to be better than 60% completion, and Rodgers is always one of those high completion guys, very efficient, effective, explosive. Aaron Rodgers is running a dink and dunk, puttering along, pitiful Jets offense, despite having a really, really, really good alpha dog receiver in Garrett Wilson. If I'm gauging the failure of one person as to the reason the team is 2-3, I would say pretty confidently the failures of Aaron Rodgers led to 2-3 a lot more than any failures of Robert Saleh. But the coach goes first. It's not a good it's not a good scene. Doesn't paint a good future for the Jets, who've gone all in, and they've done it behind a mercurial 41-year-old quarterback who, through a third of the season, is averaging less yards per attempt than Will Levis and Daniel Jones and Justin Fields and Gardner Minshew and Dak Prescott and Joe Flacco. And in fact, as 6 yards per attempt, the only other starters in the league that's better than are Bo Nix, Jacoby Brissett, Deshaun Watson, and Bryce Young. That's it. That's how Aaron Rodgers has played quarterback this year. Certainly not like the MVP from, back to, didn't Aaron Rodgers win back-to-back MVPs just like 2 or 3 years ago? Yeah, that dude's gone. That dude's gone. And in his wake is left now that personality that never just screamed leader is still there without the armor of the superpower of talent. We'll see. All right. Our own quarterback hopes to feed off the success that, they had at home last week. He really, he and the offense really got going when they needed to, especially in that second half. You're piecing together now the elements that make a good offense, which includes that offensive line, giving him just a ton of time. It's been great now seeing this emergence of Tank Bigsby and having a two-headed monster now at running back. There's also this. The Bears defense is pretty doggone good. So when it comes to momentum, it's not going to come easy Sunday for the Jags.
They're a good defense. I mean, you look at just from the numbers standpoint, since at some point last year up until now, I mean, they've been one of the top defenses in the league. I think it pops on tape just how they play, their effort, huge emphasis on, getting turnovers, getting their hands on the ball, whether that's punch outs, forcing fumbles, or, plays down the field and making plays on the ball. They all have great ball skills. I think that's one thing that definitely jumps off the tape. When a ball's near them, they're going to make the play and make it more times than not. So, I think that's something that they do really well. I think their scheme is also really good. They're disciplined. They're well coached. They're in the right spot. Then they have the guys that at times, take chances and make those plays when they read something, they recognize something. They understand what offenses are trying to do, and you can tell they're a smart group. So all those things, they do a nice job. And up front, they're really physical. Nice pass rush. They do a really good job with the D-line. That's kind of where everything starts for any team. So obviously they've been good up front too.
That's Trevor Lawrence on a Bears defense that is number 7 in total yards. It is number 5 in scoring defense. Bears are giving up less than 300 yards a game. They're giving up just 17 points a game. They've picked up 14 sacks this year. That's the same amount as the Browns, just one fewer than the Texans. Giants lead the league with 22. Vikings have 20. The Bears have 14. Just to give you as a comparison, the Jags so far have 11. But probably not like super, successful at getting to the quarterback per se. But when it comes to giving up yards and points, they've been very good. The Bears are number 3 in the league in turnover differential. They're +5 this year. They have 6 interceptions already and 5 fumble recovers. So that's 11 total takeaways. That sure helps a rookie quarterback who's bound to make some mistakes and, have some issues of his own. So, yeah, that +5 is T3 in turnover margin. And again, do I need to go way down the list and find the Jags at -3? Just something else that's got to get a lot better. You got a Jaguars football team's giving it away 5 times. You got a Bears team that's taking it away 11. There's a reason Chicago's favored. We just went over some of that, didn't we? All right, let's come back with a 10-minute drill. He'll bounce it off of me. We'll have Doc Murphy and the injury updates coming for you a little bit later this hour. The Riley Report, a little extended edition. Maybe we'll make Riley spend a couple of segments with us as we hunker down through now a storm that has passed. You're locked and loaded on a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. If you were unfortunate and had either a tree down, limbs down, or you're thinking about the future, just maybe some preventative maintenance and otherwise, have my good friends at Custom Tree Surgeons pay you a visit. Now, for now, let's stick to the emergencies, right? I've got some stuff that's got to get done. I've been talking to my guys over there at Custom Tree, and I realized that they're still dealing with some Helene stuff. So, I got stuff that I want to get done, cosmetic and otherwise. But in the meantime, if you need emergency services this morning as well, count on my guys, man. Good dudes at Custom Tree Surgeons and CustomTreeSurgeons.com.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here. One of the keys to victories is to know your opponent well.
Best thing I can do is point you in the direction of his competition.
Get insights and interviews from Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline when he takes you behind enemy lines. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Let's start the debate. Why would someone buy a new car from you? We have an exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle. We offer a competitive wow price plus free oil changes. How much will someone get for their trade? We offer more than $4,000 over KBV value. Well, we never lose a trade over price. Okay, when is the best time to buy a car? Right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter which side you pick. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, you get it all. Let us show you why we're the winning vote.
Chelsea here. Florida homeowners, are your windows working as hard as they should? With Renewal by Andersen, our energy-efficient custom windows and doors help keep the cool air in during those scorching months. That means lower energy bills and a more comfortable home year-round. For the month of October, Renewal by Andersen has a limited time offer. Buy 4 windows and our patio doors and get the 5th one free. Some restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for all the details. That's bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Beaches Dermatology. Nobody better in all of Jacksonville in taking care of our skin. Doctors Boudreaux, Doctors Metz, Dr. Fader, all the wonderful people up front. They're there to help you. They're there to remind you to take care of your skin, to protect it from the sun if the sun ever comes out in Jacksonville again, right? You got to wear the long sleeve dry fits, the floppy hats, the sunscreen. Protect yourself. The sun here, even in the wintertime, can be brutal, right? And if you do notice something on your skin, that's when you go to Beaches Dermatology, and they're real easy to get a hold of. Just go online at beachesdermatology.com. They will help you. They've been taking care of me for years. I appreciate them. beachesdermatology.com.
Discover the difference that local expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Visit their showroom at the Avenues and browse high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. When deciding what lawyer to trust with your car accident or injury case, the most reliable way is reviews and results. You want to be treated well, and you want a great result. Woolsey Morecambe's reviews speak for themselves, and I challenge any firm to compare results. We offer the resources of a large law firm and the customer service of a boutique practice. If you want to be treated right and want great results, call Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists congratulating this week's high school scholar athlete, Lauren Hutton, senior swimmer at Fletcher High. Lauren is the varsity captain of the swim team and is a member of the National and French Honor Societies. Congratulations, Lauren.
Big Chief Tire offers affordable quality tires for every type of vehicle. Frank Frangie here. Whether you're looking for all-season tires, high-performance options, or something more budget-friendly, Big Chief has the perfect set to keep you rolling. Their expert technicians ensure your tires are installed quickly and safely so you can drive with confidence. Visit BigChiefTire.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your appointment and check out their unbeatable tire deals today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Cyber threats don't take timeouts. Protect your business with DoubleCheck Cybersecurity's AI-powered solutions. Get 24/7 defense and stop hackers before they score. Don't wait. Visit doublecheck.com to schedule your free security consultation today.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a gravy taster from Jacksonville, Florida, me, Dennis Mosley.
Hi, Ken.
Okay, Dennis. 100 plumbers surveyed, top answer on the board. What does it mean if someone says your home has hard water?
It's made of ice? Let's see. Hard water. Oh, is it club soda mixed 4-to-1 with vodka?
Last chance, Dennis. What is hard water?
Oh, is it that lime scale stuff that makes my taps all crusty?
That's right, Dennis. And a water treatment system from Bueller Air and Plumbing will eliminate troublesome lime scale deposits that can ruin your expensive appliances and let your neighbors know for sure that you are cool.
I wonder if I can get me a gin and tonic faucet.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and I speak for everyone here at 1010XL when I say congratulations, Hacker. 100 pounds lost with a Waco 180 is a huge milestone, and we are so proud of you. Life-changing, life-enhancing. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Barra & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by
Advanced Business Solutions.
your local authorized Xerox dealer on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
All right, time for the 10-minute drill. A little survey of the landscape when it comes to the sports world. Saw the NHL hockey season is open. Of course, Dan Hicken's New York Rangers won 6-0 over Doc Kevin Murphy's Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm glad we won't have to separate those two today. NBA season is just around the corner. I think we talked a little bit about the Netflix documentary. Did we?
Yeah.
The Starting Five, a documentary. It's got an unfiltered look at 5 players from last year.
Yeah, we touched on that before.
It includes Anthony Edwards and Jason Tatum. Well, the first episode has dropped. We got a spicy little tidbit. You'll like this. Nobody gets in their feels more than NBA players. Is that fair?
No, that's fair.
Right? They get in the most little tit for tats and little soap opera little episodes over the course of the years, it seems like. So, anywho, both Edwards and Tatum, I would chalk this up to competitive fire and trash talk than I would, hard feelings or anything otherwise. But this just gives you that look behind the scenes. It'll be fun. If you're an NBA fan and you like that aspect of it as well, and I do, by the way, I'm here for that drama. I'm here for getting all in those feels and getting burner phones, the whole thing. I'm down. But this Netflix is followed last year and picked a couple pretty good subjects, didn't they?
Yeah, they got some hitters.
Yeah, what Anthony Edwards, Baby Jordan became over the course of that year, and Jason Tatum, of course, shedding any reputation he had and winning a title for the Celtics. But the two matched up last year in the regular season because they play in separate conferences. They play twice a year, once on each other's home floor. And apparently brought a lot of drama, okay? First episode last night was centered around Edwards' starring role in a November game against the Celtics, an overtime win for the Timberwolves. Edwards scored 38 points, a game high, played strong defense against Tatum down the stretch, gained possession of the ball after he became entangled with the Celtics star early in the overtime period. After the game, he scoffed at Tatum's perceived status as the, quote, best player in the league in a locker room moment with the Netflix cameras rolling, all right? You seen Tatum trying to get me on the switch, locked his blink up 2 times. He started talking blank. Tatum was talking crazy, saying, yeah, I'm here. Then I said, I'm coming. I'm coming again. Talking about best player in the league. Y'all tripping. Tatum, by the way, ultimately got the last laugh. He won a title, but the two teams met again. All right. And Tatum poured in a game high 45. Boston won in overtime. Tatum also went on to win the NBA title. So that if you like that little spicy side sauce that comes along with the NBA and the rivalries and the personalities, this Netflix documentary, Starting Five, might scratch that itch for you. Anyway, E, what else we got?
And definitely going to give you something to watch.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, boy, Jaden Daniels is in the news.
What happened?
Well, not for nothing bad, but they're making a comparison to him to Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
And he doesn't like it. He doesn't like that comparison.
Well, that's kind of silly because he's won 2 MVPs. I would take it, but what's the pushback?
Well, he doesn't want to be, when you think of Lamar, you think of that he's a runner. Whereas you don't think of him as a true, pure quarterback.
Okay.
You pull up the numbers. Jackson this year so far has thrown for a little over 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Rushing, He's rushed for 363 yards with 2 rushing touchdowns.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels, 1,134 yards passing, 4 touchdowns.
The same.
With another 300 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns.
It's the same. I mean,
so they're both on track.
You're the same.
They're both on track for over 1,000 yards rushing.
It's a fair comparison. In fact, Jaden Daniels gets an extra sunshine on the comparison because it also usually includes this. He's like Lamar, but a better passer. Don't we say that?
Yeah, like Lamar, but a better passer.
Yeah. So if you have issue with that comparison, we can find another one for you.
Right.
Anyway, I get it. You want to be your own guy, you will be. But
that's what he says. But we know he doesn't want to be considered just a runner.
Yeah, and no one does, buddy. I don't know what planet you're on. Nobody considers Jaden Daniels just a runner. I don't. Do you, E?
Right.
Nope. You're 2 for 2. So carry on.
Carry on, soldier.
Yeah.
Mike Evans recently said after the hurricane that hit, Mike Evans went on record saying basically they're playing for something bigger than football. And it kind of gave me the feel of J.J. Watt when Harvey hit and Katrina when it hit New Orleans.
Yeah.
And New Orleans won the Super Bowl that year, right?
I don't remember.
2010.
I don't remember if that's coincided or not.
But I just remember like the environment and the vibes when Katrina.
It doesn't feel Tampa just got the Harvey Katrina treatment though.
I just look at the stadium, the Trop.
Yeah, now the roof of the Trop got blown off,
Yeah.
and that was like, by the way, one of like the hunker down stations.
I guess that's what gave me Katrina vibes when.
That's
Katrina
fair,
did that.
yeah, because the Superdome did that. But
Yeah.
I don't think it would be fair because it stayed a little further south. There may be parts of Florida that were affected that way. But and again, I don't mean to be speaking out of turn. Haven't gotten up and watched 1 ounce of storm coverage. I do have it on the local news because I know they'll find the absolute worst example of water standing and wind blowing, and I can see where that is here locally. But gosh, they've got a shot right now of the pier, and it just looks choppy and overcast. You might get some gust out there still today to 40. This thing by going south saved us. Not that there's not storm surge, and there is, and you folks that are around that know that, right? And you have it at other times during other storms. So, anywho, hope everyone's as dry and safe as possible. But back to E's point, the roof there at the Trop got ripped off last night, or at least shredded to a degree. And did they pass the new stadium? I can't remember.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure.
It was during your 8 years absence this summer. So I can't. I think they did though. Text line, did they do that? Tampa passed that new station, that new.
Does it seem also like, kind of bring it back to NBA? Does it seem like NBA players they play more in the preseason? Because I was watching a little bit, like I was looking at some stats, and Karl Anthony Towns, he had a big night in his debut in New York.
Oh, no, 100%. If you're going to go to a preseason game in any sport, you want to go to an NBA game.
Right, you're going to get some star power.
They'll play a lot of the game, at least a half, and a lot of times more. And if it's later, like the Hawks and the last time the NBA was here, because the Jacksonville used to host a preseason game semi-regularly. I'm to my knowledge, or at least the last one that I caught my super attention, what the Magic and the Hawks played down at the arena. And we went to the game, and the starters played. I mean, it may have still been Dwight Howard with the Magic then. But they played, it was Al Horford with the Hawks, and I mean, it's like going to an NBA game. So, yeah, if you're going to go to a preseason matchup in any pro sport, by far what you're going to get your most bang out of an NBA preseason game.
Gardner Minshew lost his starting spot.
Well, it's the life of Gardner. It's what he does.
Right.
He's going to stick around for it. At least got a contract out of this.
He got some money, though.
Didn't he get like 12 a year or something like that?
$25 million contract.
Well, there you go, man. So it's mission accomplished. Gardner Minshew, by the way, the Gardner Minshew story isn't over. He'll be a backup for some team that's competitive and is going to need him. Won't he? He will, won't he?
Yep.
He'll come in and he'll carry him for 2 or 3 games, and he's got a lot more shelf life in the NFL. But, man, if you can't win that job with no highly drafted of any recency rookie, then you can't win a job in the NFL. No. I mean, I know Aiden O'Connell's just second year, but wasn't he like a fourth rounder last year? Maybe he was second. I don't know if he's second, third, fourth. I don't know. What a first rounder. It's not like that's a top 10 guy and you got to get him in the lineup. That's not the story with Gardner's competition out there. And if you got to hold on to that job now.
Got to.
You got to keep that for a year.
You can't lose that to Aiden O'Connell.
No, you can't. You got to be good enough that they don't want to take you out of that job. By the way, he'll be back probably this year. O'Connell's not exactly, Mahomes. But anyway, all right, let's close the shop down here on the 10-minute drill because we got Doc either, I don't know if he's here or on the phone, but either way, get injury updates and more. Still got a football fix for you. We're still going to do college football talk with Riley Skinner. Much, much more here on a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. You're listening to The Drill. You got some razzle and some dazzle?
I got a $30 gift card at John Smith Subs. They have 2 locations in Jax, one on Hodges near JTB, the other one in Ponte Vedra. All you got to do right now, pick up that phone, dial 904-641-1010. Come on.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Lickety Split AC Plumbing and Electric is now hiring. If you have a 5-star mentality, providing world-class custom plumbing or electrical solutions, you should work with Lickety Split. Their team is incredibly supportive, positive, and dedicated to being the best. If you have a valid driver's license with at least 18 months of experience, apply at Lickety Split, an equal opportunity employer offering competitive pay, a service truck, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Hiring management positions too. Visit licketysplitfl.com.
Prosser here. I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us. Imagine watching your favorite team in your new Lifetime Man Cave, family hangout, or Lifetime's version of a she shed. And now Lifetime is expanding their replacement window division. Make your home energy efficient with their Energy Star rated windows. Enclosures, flooring, and windows to fit any and all budgets. Visit the showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let Lifetime be your home team.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Catching fish and fish stories.
What's going on here? Give me the boat. Give me the boat.
On the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show with Captain Kevin Faber. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Veterans Wholesale Cabinets.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Jacksonville, are you ready? The college basketball season is tipping off with an epic in-state showdown. The Florida Gators and South Florida Bulls go head-to-head in the Jacksonville Sports Foundation Invitational. Be there Monday, November 4th at Veterans Memorial Arena and witness this in-state rivalry live. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. It's Florida versus South Florida to start the college basketball season on November 4th in Jacksonville. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
ET here, and have you been betting and winning at MyBookie.com? If you haven't bet with MyBookie yet, they're still running that double deposit bonus. Just sign up using my promo code 1010XL, and we're on to week 6 of the NFL football season. And there's a ton of college matchups that run through the weekend. Get some skin in the game. You should certainly have your eyes on that spread for Florida versus Tennessee on Saturday night. Then you know our boys fly across the pond and take on the Bears for NFL Sunday morning football. And we're probably going to be the underdogs. If you think we could win in London, bet it. But then them surging Commanders play the Ravens. The Cowboys play the Lions. And for Sunday night football, you have the Bengals traveling to New York to take on them Giants. For a limited time, my bookie still has a double deposit bonus. Use my promo code 1010XL to claim that bonus to double your money before your very first bet. That's promo code 1010XL to get you that extra cash, my boy. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere at MyBookie. Come on, somebody.
Homeowners, listen up. The Fed has taken action, lowering rates for the first time in years, and Loan Pronto has followed suit by lowering mortgage rates big time. Prosser here. Loan Pronto just locked in a homeowner at 4.59% APR, the lowest in 2 years. Whether you got your loan last month or last year, it's time to call Loan Pronto and dump that high-rate loan. You can lock in a lower rate fast with virtually no paperwork and usually no appraisal. There's no limit on how many times you can refi, so get started. Even if you're in process with another lender, give Loan Pronto a call. If you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Purchase loans available as well, so call now. Get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, MLS consumeraccess.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is not affiliated with the NFL or the Jacksonville Jaguars. Discussion regarding injuries is solely based on opinion. Coming up, the weekly Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Medical Report featuring Dr. Kevin Murphy, a board-certified orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine, upper extremities, and arthroscopy of the shoulders and knees. Dr. Murphy is a nationally and internationally recognized orthopedic expert. He's a former orthopedic consultant to the White House and the Pentagon, and currently serves as head team physician for UNF, the Jacksonville Icemen, and Northeast Florida area high schools.
And as we learned last week, also family friends with the Golden Bachelorette. I mean, the Forrest Gump of the local medical scene just continues to spin out yarns for us. No doc this morning, but injury updates nonetheless. There's some important ones out there. I'm not a doctor, but I did stay in a Holiday Inn last night. No, that's not true. I didn't evacuate. I stayed at home, and I hope everyone out there was as fortunate. I was even more concerned being in St. Johns County. The talk of the further south you go, the more treacherous it may be, but we've survived remarkably well. You know, as I left this morning in the dark, didn't look like really much of anything had happened too badly. Now, that doesn't that was not the case for our Floridians in the center of the state and south. There is some devastating, from tornadoes to storm surge. There are a lot of people going to be dealing with a lot of stuff here. So keep them in your thoughts as we keep moving along. Listen, the Jags take a real important trip overseas. A Gator's got to take a pretty important trip up to Rocky Top. Where you at, Gator fan? I think this. Don't you think this? You tell me from your, and listen, your view of Florida, it can't help but go through a filter of watching them just get destroyed by your favorite squad, Miami, and also losing pretty bad at home to Texas A&M. But at least they somewhat steadying of the ship. They've won the last 2 weeks. They played their best, most buttoned up, good-looking game of Billy Napier's career in Florida in the win over UCF. I'm not saying it's their biggest win. I'm not saying it's their most explosive outcome. I'm saying start to finish, the most buttoned up performance that we've seen out of them.
Okay.
Well, they go to Tennessee, and, you know, they've been playing these last couple of weeks without really their best, most explosive offensive player, Trey Wilson. Eugene Wilson III has been really good for them. Well, he's back now. He had that injury, knee injury, had a minor procedure, they say. Again, we talked with Doc about it. It's now 3 or 4 weeks ago, probably meniscus. And so Wilson will play against Tennessee this weekend, which is nice. He'd missed the last 3 games with a knee injury. In just 2 games, 191 receiving yards. Was able to dress out and even did warm-ups before the UCF game, but was in street clothes when it kicked off. Another freshman, a redshirt freshman, Aiden Mizell, who, by the way, starred in Wilson's absence but missed the UCF game, is also going to make his return this weekend. He's had over 100 yards and a touchdown without one of the plays called back by penalty. So getting those guys back certainly will help. The Gators are also going to get maybe some help on the offensive lineman. Offensive lineman Austin Barber, who's really their best offensive lineman, at least by Pro Football Focus. He's questionable, so you hope you get him back. It'd be pretty crucial if they didn't have him. Anyway, look, here's where I am on Florida. And I'll get back to the other injuries in the sports world. I'm really just speaking to getting Mizell and Wilson back. At least that's something. They're not going to have Trayon Webb. They're not going to have Marcus Burke, a couple of local guys. Both Trinity Christian guys, in fact. Looks like those guys are going to both miss again this week. Here's the reality for Florida with these 2 wins, and this is how the season's broke down. Florida's played 2 good ranked teams at home, and they've gotten blistered both times. They played 3 underwhelming opponents, and they've pretty much dominated all 3, Stanford, Mississippi State, and UCF. But what the 2 teams they lost to have in common, the 3 they beat don't have, and that's why this 5-game stretch is so brutal for Florida. You know what that is? Miami and Texas A&M had big boy, grown A men lines of scrimmage. They threw around the powder puffs each time they played. That, quote, the trenches for Florida. They get beat up and pushed around. They get bullied and outmanned. And it led to utter domination by both Miami and Texas A&M over the Gators. They didn't have to deal with that. And what do you know? Pick up some sacks. Throw for unbelievable efficiency. Well, now, guess what? Now you're back in the dog pound. You're going to go to Tennessee. Those are dogs. They got first-rounders on their offensive and defensive lines. Same story. They may not be perfect in all their other areas, but for the most part, the rest of the way, when you play Georgia and LSU and Ole Miss and Texas, those are going to be grown A offensive and defensive lines. And the only 2 times that you've stood up to the bully, he's punched you in the face and thrown sand on you in your own backyard twice. So any 2-game optimism, I got a good buddy, he's Tennessee fan, so we talked, during game week. We'll talk about it and where things stand. He's asking about Napier and the pulse of the program with the fan base and otherwise. I said, you know what, those 2 games, you know what they did? There was a forest fire after the loss to Texas A&M. There was almost like this feeling and this talk of like it was over. And then, right, he was fired. He was dead man walking. They got blown out at home. It's embarrassing. All right, then they won a couple of games. Now they've won a couple in a row, and I equate it to that forest fire. Then a rainstorm came along, and it put out the fire, these wins against Mississippi State and UCF. But it got awful dry and tindery real quick. And so if Florida goes to Tennessee and gets beaten like Miami and Texas A&M beat them, whoosh, that fire is going to rage again. And it's just not conducive to making any progress over the course of a football season. Look, if this thing plays out, this is going to happen. This incredible, brutal stretch. Florida's going to be in it with 1 or 2 of these games. Ole Miss, LSU, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee. They're going to be in the game a couple of times. They're going to be up 3 or down 3 in the fourth quarter. It's going to not because they're great, because that's college football, because they were last year with a team probably worse than this one. Now, do they win those games? He asked me, and everyone asked. We haven't thought about it for a while because there's been this dead man walking feel to the whole thing. What does Billy Napier have to do this year? Then we really start thinking, you know what he has to do? What the reality is, if Billy Napier goes 6-6, goes to a bowl game, he'll keep his job. The fact that seems like an incredible challenge to get to 6-6 is why he needs to play. Is why he's playing for his job. It's an incredibly low standard. What's the path to the 6th? They're 3-2. You're playing, by the way, all top 10 teams: Tennessee, Ole Miss, Georgia, Texas, LSU barely outside of it. What's the path? Well, certainly you've got to beat Kentucky at home next week. That'd get you to 4. Can you beat some combination of Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, FSU twice? Can you go 2-2 in those 4? It'd take a heck of be one of those Vandy just beat Georgia's. I mean, Vandy just beat Alabama's if they beat Texas or Georgia. That's how it feels. All right, Doc is now to answer the more the more professional questions. I tried to stay away from giving any diagnoses, Doc. I didn't want to send anybody, off to surgery and recovery without first your expert opinion. How are we doing, friend?
Doing good, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. Did it hit you too bad? I know those out closer to the coast and south would have been more prone, but I mean overall for us it was emerged a lot better than I would have thought.
Yeah, we did okay. Water over the dock, it's the usual thing, but
Gotcha.
we had everything pulled off there. But
right.
I got my son and his family up from Tampa. So
Makes sense. Yeah, and how did it hold up down there? Any reports yet?
I really haven't heard too much from down there yet.
Doesn't look good.
No.
The oblique injury for Derek Carr, I'm curious about that one. What happened and how long does that keep you out?
Yeah, that's one of these core injuries that are tough. If he avulses something off the bone attachment, sometimes you have to fix those, but those are usually more of a violent injury. So it's going to bother him, twist and turn and trying to throw. So at worst case, I would bet it's a 3-week deal, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's back next week.
Doc, a lot of times when there's a hamstring injury, they stay maybe questionable for the first week or it's a strain. But when they have the hamstring injury and then boom, a day later, we saw it with Tyson Campbell, they go on IR. It just seems like that is indicating it's going to be, more serious and not a short-term fix. And so let's talk about a couple players. First one that has just been given that designation. Nico Collins leads the NFL in receiving. He's Houston's top dog, and they're not going to have him for a while. On IR with a hamstring injury yesterday. Does that tell you it's pretty serious?
Yeah, you got that one right. If they put him on IR right away, they probably got an MRI that shows a complete tear, and that's going to be, the long-term 2-month probably injury.
It's funny because designated for return from IR is now Tyson Campbell, but his was the same situation. He went out game 1 at Miami. As I recall, they put him on IR the next day, so it would seem to be sending that same smoke signal. Yet they're now, what has that been? 5 weeks? They're now saying he's could be close to return. What is the most optimistic expectation of getting especially a position like that, a stop-start position, back at full speed?
Yeah, 6-weeker on that. A lot of backpedaling as a corner. You're in that bent over position. It really does work your hamstrings. So it's that's going to be a tough one. I'd be a little concerned him coming back a little too quick.
Anthony Richardson, by the way, has an oblique injury as well. He missed the Florida game. His came more from that direct bone on bone. So were they being honest when they said it was a hip pointer, or was it misdiagnosed, or how? What would you think?
I think it's just a deep bone bruise of his hip, and it just still hurts. Traumatic, getting an impact to that really isn't the same thing. So it's in the same area. I think his is more of a deep bone bruise that just still hurts, and he can't go, as opposed to an oblique thing that may be a more long-term problem.
I don't know what's going on with the Gator or medical staff that down there, but when they tell you a guy's going to have a knee procedure and he'll be back, day after tomorrow, it seems like they're able to stick to that timeline. We saw it with Montrell Johnson, and now, Trey Wilson had surgery, I believe, on September 16th for, they say, a minor surgery on a knee issue. So, and I guess we talked about it, most obviously what you would think it would be the meniscus, right? And so returning this quick seems a little bit speedy, no?
Yeah, it does seem that, but he probably, as you said, he probably had a meniscus that they trimmed it smooth and really didn't have any significant damage to his knee so far as the articular cartilage. So with that, if it doesn't swell a lot and hurt, and they've rehabbed him quickly, you can come back. But don't be surprised if he has swelling and soreness and limping around a little bit.
All right, the Jags are going to get Evan Ingram back this week. It almost looks like for sure, and he would be the other side of that hamstring injury, right? He had his hamstring injury pregame week 2 and then didn't go on IR, and they just kept him around, and that kind of comes full circle with what we were talking about with those other guys. But Devin Duvernay did go on injured reserve on Wednesday, injured his hamstring in the win over the Colts. Doc, is it just me? Does it seem like these soft tissue, these hamstring injuries are more and more and more common? I mean, this would be 3 Jaguars alone that are missing multiple weeks with this injury.
Yeah, it seems like a flurry of them here. But I don't think it's necessarily something they're doing. You always hear that and go, oh, what are they doing? They're not stretching right. But they do all that stuff. So it's just an odd occurrence, but I wouldn't tie too much to it as far as their preparation or their training.
I got you. Well, there's no Hicken today, Doc, so you're lucky. He's not going to, on top of all the other spoiled riches that he's bathing in, he won't mention the Rangers 6 and the Penguins nothing.
Yeah, bad. I got a couple texts on that last night. It was bad.
All right, Doc. Appreciate you calling in. I know it's, certain parts of town more than others. Things are sketch this morning, so we'll talk to you next week.
All right, brother.
All right, there you go. There's Doc Kevin Murphy, best in the business. You're inside the injury report. Let's talk college football with the former ACC Player of the Year, Riley Skinner, and the Riley Report coming up next on a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here. Sideline to sideline.
That's a bad boy.
Goal line to goal line.
On best, here we go.
The best defense is a superior fence. Each week, Superior Fence and Rail presents the Defensive Player of the Game on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here for Bowden Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden, currently called upon for his expert opinion, one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area. He's the founder of Bowden Eye. Visit Bowden Associates today and experience the difference. They're keeping the First Coast focused. That's Bowden Associates.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bold City AC. We got the crew. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, how does a diamond or piece of jewelry have its price authenticated by an independent appraisal?
Frank, simply put, there's a difference between a selling price and an appraisal value. In the estate and auction business, you almost always see a new replacement price put on an old used piece. But when you have a new piece with a higher replacement price, you have to wonder why somebody would sell you something for a lot less than it's worth, unless maybe it's not worth what they said. Let me tell you a story about what happened at Underwoods the other day. We were putting into stock a 1-carat diamond that had an EGL report on it. When we opened the report, we found a separate appraisal for the diamond by the Universal Gemological Services, which, by the way, is owned by that laboratory. They appraised the diamond loose for $7,230, which we found interesting because the diamond was in our stock at $5,100. I can honestly say that diamond wouldn't sell anywhere for $7,230, so that type of appraisal is worthless.
That's Underwoods, where they make it a point to know the truth about diamonds and jewelry at San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Roof damage? Call before you claim. Green Law Group, fighting insurance companies for you. They will work for you when you have roof damage. Don't let your insurance deny you. Don't call an adjuster. Call Green Law Group at 904-302-7055. Remember, if you have roof damage, call Greenlaw Group before you claim. They've settled millions and will work hard to get your claim and new roof. Greenlaw Group. Call before you claim. 904-302-7055.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Find your why with membership at the First Coast YMCA. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Come try free access to your local Y every Wellness Wednesday this month. Check out our fitness classes, swimming, pickleball, youth sports, and so much more for free every Wednesday in October. Plus, we'll waive the join fee when you become a member this month. Get active, be social, live healthier, and discover all the benefits of YMCA membership at your local Y or visit fcymca.org.
Hey, gang, I couldn't be any happier than to be part of the George Moore Chevrolet family. And when I say family, that's what I mean. That's how they treat you when you visit that beautiful showroom off of Atlantic Boulevard. You'll find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help, just smiles, just having a good time. And whether you want a car, a truck, an SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet's got it. You know me, I got my boy Blue, that beautiful blue Silverado. I couldn't be any happier. If you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, that's okay. MooreChevy.com. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you can try. All the vehicles, you'll see them right there. Sales, service, parts. Never been more easy to use. See what I did there? George Moore Chevrolet, gang, together. Let's drive.
When my wrist pain was acting up and I needed help, I took Dan Hicken's advice and headed over to see the experts at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. This is Stuart Moore with the PGA Tour. I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you have a need, they took great care of me. They'll take great care of you.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hacker here, and I can't believe it. 100 pounds gone. 6 months ago, I never would have dreamed this was possible. I'm going to say it again because it feels so good. I've dropped 100 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. To put that in perspective, I've taken roughly 10 inches off my waist. I'm down from a XXX to an XL, and I did it all in slightly over 6 months. It's not just about the number on the scale. It's also about getting my life back, playing with my son, and being more physically active. Now we're celebrating big time. I'm hosting an exclusive football watch party to celebrate this huge milestone, and you'll have a chance to join me. Let's watch some football, eat some great food, and if you have questions about Awaken 180, ask me. Details to come, but don't wait on that. Call Awaken 180 today and learn how fast you can reach your goals. 844-346-1800 or online, awaken180weightloss.com.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Southern Oak Insurance. Florida head coach Billy Napier wants quarterback DJ Lagway to look to quarterback Graham Mertz and taking his play to the next level.
That's next level quarterback play, being able to redirect mics and protect yourself. Graham, obviously, he's a PhD.
The season has been disappointing for Knowles football, but for head coach Mike Norvell, it is providing an opportunity for younger players, and the head coach is excited about the potential he sees.
We've got very talented young players, and so I'm excited about the group. I'm excited about what the potential is. I'm excited about where they can be.
A strong showing against UCF, combined with a fan vote, has led to Florida Gator veteran punter Jeremy Crenshaw to be named the Ray Guy Award Punter of the Week. He was among 8 finalists up for the weekly award. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
At 8:04 at 72 degrees, your time and your tip is brought to you by Beulah Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Beulah. The Riley Report is next right here on The Drill.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it. And now, Kaplan Truck Accessories brings you the Riley Report with Riley Skinner on 1010XL.
He just ripped his way through the ACC as the quarterback of the Wake Forest. Demon Deacons joins us now for the Riley Report. Every Thursday we pick his brain. Good morning, Riles. How we doing?
Good morning, Mr. Prosser. How are we, baby?
We're good, man. What you have to always remind me. What did we go with last week? What did we roll and lock it out last week? I can't remember.
I thought we were
Cal?
I had Cal.
Yeah.
I had Cal.
Yeah, close.
Could you stay up to watch that?
No, I'll tell you what I did. What I did was, though, I DVR'd it. And then because I get, I sleep odd because of how I normally get up. So when I get up at, 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, 2 or 3 hours before any and everybody else, I just fast forward it to about halftime. And it was, I watched for a little bit and got up to 35-10 and I figured it was over and I turned off. And I didn't even watch the end. And then I saw on Sports Center that they won, so I went back and watched it.
Bonkers, man.
Yeah,
absolutely bonkers.
What is it? You know what? And we got so much to talk about. You're going to join us for two quickish segments today, so that's good. We can pause on a couple of these games. Is this to be expected for Miami? Right, they got off to a great start. You just kind of exhale a little bit. There's not a whole lot of games there, Riley, for them to get super fired up over, and I wonder if it makes you more. It's vulnerable in a certain degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, 100%. And then we talked about this a bunch last week that's why I picked them as the upset. It's just they're not really that battle-tested, nor will they be. And so you just listen to the hype down there. You get caught up in the Miami hoopla, and it makes me nervous that they're not going to have a game exactly what you said, where they've got to lock in, 6 days prior and be completely dialed in, and Chris Paul's got to get them fired up. Louisville will be a test, but that's not. If you can make it to the playoffs, you're going to get punched in the mouth and not know what happened if Louisville's kind of your toughest game for the rest of the year.
And no longer ranked. They were at least ranked at one point. And to your point, I guess you got to. Miami has a bye this week, and then to your point, they come off the bye, they go to Louisville. It's a deadly spot, man. That noon spot can be dicey too.
It lulls you to sleep.
It does. So that might give a little bit of. But if they get past Louisville, Riley, you got FSU at home, you got Duke at home, Georgia Tech will get if you're not careful. Wake Forest at home, at Syracuse. I'm not saying at Georgia Tech, at Syracuse are layups, but you know what? If we were really talking about Miami, how they want to be talked about, and we were talking about Ohio State or, Georgia or Texas having to go at Georgia Tech, at Syracuse, you're thinking those are 4 touchdown wins, and I don't think we're ready to commit to Miami that way yet.
Well, I'm hoping, and every good team that has a run, right? Every good team has a game like this where it's close. It's a game you should win, but you either don't or you barely squeak it out. And I hope this was it for Miami. I hope this is a wake-up call for the players. And I know Cristobal is going to be drilling it into their brains that you're not as good as you think you are. You don't bring your A game. That whole spiel. Cam Ward's a stud. Don't get me wrong. Cam
bailed
Ward's
him out.
a stud. They can't survive like that because he's bailed them out a couple times now this year. And college football, the ball bounces odd ways at any given time. One bad bounce, and they're in with one loss, and then their schedule, unfortunately, just looks so bad. They're gonna drop. And so, to me, this might have been the best thing that could have happened to them. Right? They get a week off now to think about this, to go back, dissect the film, look where they can improve, and then I hope Miami starts beating people the way they should. If I see them start beating people by, 20, 25 points over these next 4 to 5 games that they should, then it's all right. I do think Miami's a legit team. But the one thing we continue to worry about showed its face last week, and good Lord, Cam Ward can do some special things when they need him because they needed every ounce of Cam Ward in that game, and they got it.
I guess what would be concerning for me is, that game, that wake-up call game, that was supposed to be last week against Virginia Tech, where they escaped.
Right.
where Cam got him off the hook. And then so to turn around the very next week and really have to do the same thing against Cal makes, that takes away a little bit from that. Again, I'm not talking about being
They also got Cal's Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's fair. But that's what good teams do. Yeah, that's fair.
They got game day, and they got the biggest crowd they've ever had, and they traveled across the entire country, like farther than anyone's ever tried. Like, it was a whole deal. So they got their best shot, and they responded when their back was against the wall. So kudos to them. I don't want to take away a win and undefeated season so far for them, but they got to shape up in a lot of areas, especially on defense, if they're going to want to.
Riley, what was Wake Forest's football history before y'all won that? Was it Wake's first ACC title when y'all won?
It was second. They had one in like 1970.
Okay, so but
the history was pretty bad.
Because I'm saying this, I'm not saying this us chiding each other like we're on the golf course. Wake is like the ACC version of Vanderbilt. No.
100%.
Right, isn't that a really good comparison? They're just really, really similar. Every once in a while, they're going to flare up, even have special years like they had with Riley. They're few and far between. I'd say Wake overall maybe, and the ACC schedule may help, maybe a little bit better than Vanderbilt, but they're real similar. So just your perspective on what Vanderbilt did to Alabama, okay? And this isn't an incredible, once-in-a-million Vanderbilt team. They're okay. They have their strengths, obviously. It's not that they beat Alabama, number one in the country, not that they beat a number one team for the first time in the history of the program. It's how they beat them, Riles. They beat them. They right, like dominated time of possession, dominated yards, led by 2 scores most of the way. They beat them. I can't wrap my brain about what I saw the other day.
So before we get into that, I want to go back to what you said about Wake essentially is Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Which is so true. And that's why we used to have home and aways with them. Like, we played Vanderbilt 4 times, twice when I was there. But anyway, I got 2 different text messages Saturday night. All right. One was fantastic. It was from my neighbor, and I love him. Hey, Riley, just saw that win. Congratulations. So 2 different people thinking that Wake Forest was Vanderbilt sending me congratulatory texts on Saturday night. I was like, yeah, that's about right. That's about right.
Wow, isn't that funny? I didn't know that story ahead of time, ladies and gentlemen, I promise. Yeah, that's how similar they are. Riley's neighbors think he played for Vandy. That's how similar it is.
But no, it was, man. Like, I'll be honest. For Clark Lee, I love that guy. He's a really good coach. I feel like that's where he wants to be. He works his tail off. We got a couple kids from Bowles that are up there, so he's spent a lot of time down here. I was incredibly happy for him. I told people I was watching the game with, that's the biggest upset I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Right?
In my 37 years on this earth, that's by far the biggest, putting all the things in perspective, biggest upset I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Don't disagree.
And it was masterful what they were doing on offense. I thought they were so technically sound, and the play calling was creative. It was misdirectional. It hit a lot of things. Now, they played their tail off in the trenches. I mean, the offensive line and defensive line going against Alabama, Vanderbilt played extremely well. But they did such a good job of moving the quarterback, flipping the backs out of the backfield, hiding them with play action, throwbacks to tight end, screens. They were just incredibly creative. And like you said, other than the one fluky interception off the dude's helmet that they got a pick 6 on, they just beat them.
Listen to these numbers. This is Alabama, number 1 in the country, and Vanderbilt 2-2, 0-1 in the SEC. First downs, 26-17 Vanderbilt. Total yards, Vandy 418, Alabama 394. Turnovers, Alabama 2, Vanderbilt none. Penalties, Vandy 3 for 20, Alabama 6 for 57. Time of possession, Alabama 17 minutes, Vanderbilt 42. 42 to 17, man. That's why it falls as the most unbelievable upset. It's not just listen, if this upset happened when I was a kid, there's only one way it could have happened, right? It was a different era of football. 3-0, 6-3. 7-3, 10-6. It's the only way Vanderbilt ever beats Alabama. Not 40-35, not 42 minutes of possession, not winning just about every statistical category. And
and they did the cool thing that I think they did it in the fourth quarter too.
That's
like
right.
After Ryan Williams had that big touchdown, the guy's he's just a walking highlight reel. After he had that touchdown, it's like, ooh, okay, just hold on for dear life, Vanderbilt. It was like, no, we're going to go take this game and win it. Like, we're going to get first downs. We're going to keep milking the clock, but efficiently. In that 4th and 1 play, I think they slipped out the tight end in the back. And, I mean, that Pavia kid, God, he played out of his absolute mind.
He really
what
did.
A cool, just the whole story.
I mean, this guy was a third-string JUCO guy a couple of years ago.
It's awesome. Zero offers out of high school. Just really cool. That was
and you know what?
That made my weekend.
And zero blanks given.
Exactly. As you can tell with his interview.
That's correct. I'm going to say this in part based on the Alabama loss, but in overall, and there's time for this to correct itself. But it's time for some soul searching among the college football powers to make sure it is corrected if things continue as they are. Because if things continue as they are, the SEC is being given way too much gravitas here, given way too much credit. This to me looks like an incredibly down year in the SEC. Yet somehow there's 7 of those jokers in the top 11. Man,
top 11.
I mean, listen, Kentucky got hammered by South Carolina. Georgia should have lost to Kentucky. They got beat by an Alabama team that can't beat Vanderbilt. Missouri, they've been telling you, is top 10 all year. They just lost by 31 points in conference. Tennessee is the next coming, sitting in the top 5. They can't win at Arkansas. This is too many examples, Riley. This isn't one you got LSU can't beat USC, who's a 3-2 team in the Big 12. I would expect by now this week's rankings to have looked different. And I don't know who you put ahead, but having Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Ole Miss, who, by the way, lost to Kentucky, all in the top 10 seems way too ambitious to me.
First off, I never thought I'd see the day where you say the SEC.
Well, I'm a realist. All those years, all the years. I'll say this: all the years I've been saying that they are, it's because they were. It's not. Despite the wishes of others, I'll call it like it is, or at least in my opinion, this SEC, by the way, makes it more likely for Florida to win one of these games. I think there's a lot of paper to these. It helps
you got Texas now. That does help. But
I get it, but
I agree. No, look, I agree with you. But this is a perfect example of the new age of college football with transfer portals and an NIL type situation. Less the NIL, more the transfer portal. We've been seeing it creep in more and more. You're just going to get, more continuity across the board when you have really good talent going to these teams and programs that typically don't have that talent because you're getting the second best wide receiver from Alabama, Georgia, Texas that's not getting the burn they want. So they leave and they go to a Kentucky or they go to an Arkansas and become the guy. And so you're seeing more talent spread across more teams than heavily loaded teams with all the talent like you've had in the past when Bama has, Tua, Jalen Hurts, and Mac Jones on the same team. Like that just doesn't happen anymore. And so you're going to see teams that historically or on paper don't look like they should be that good. And it's like, oh, yeah, I also forgot second best D tackle at Bama is now at Arkansas or is now at Kentucky. And so, that it's not as surprising to me anymore when you see these teams play with the big boys. I think we as fans and consumers, you still get caught up in the blue blood, blue chip program name brand, right? And think there's no way in Alabama. Now, Alabama and Vanderbilt, let's take that one off the board because that's an anomaly.
Yeah, that's a once in a generation.
But a Tennessee against Arkansas,
Kentucky against Ole Miss.
Kentucky against Ole Miss, exactly. That matchup is not as despairing as it used to be and it's closer in talent typically than it has been in the past because of the transfer portal. And I don't know about you, I can't keep up with it. I'm just, but
Doring,
that's what I think's going on.
Chris Doring had a great point when we talked to him on Tuesday about the dynamic of what reality now is versus what we thought it was, and the narrative to adding to the playoff, making it a 12 team, is that it would make the regular season games less important, and actually it's the opposite that's taken place. They become more important because your games are more important for longer in the year. And I think we thought this would be all nice and tidy, and it's not going to be. There's going to be vicious arguments of 9-3 LSU versus 11-1 BYU, who deserves it.
Right.
That's coming.
Because you can play the
right.
Who beat who merry-go-round now.
And now that
has a valid argument.
And now, by the way, that merry-go-round's really crowded. They're all losing to teams they shouldn't. So the who beat who's doesn't benefit as much as it used to, because now they're all losing to these middleweights, quite frankly, and in some cases flyweights. All right, let's take a quick timeout. Riley's going to give us one more segment. I want to come back and talk about Florida's trip to Tennessee. What an odd series that's been. How vulnerable is Tennessee after what they did at Arkansas? Or does it make them even more dangerous coming off of the loss? So that and more with Riley. We are on the Garber Automo phone line this morning, and we're talking college ball. Even more when we return next on a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday.
On 1010XL from the studios of Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
I'm Jaguars Today's middle linebacker Tom McManus, and I give you a window into what it's like on the field wearing black and teal. Catch my stories and analysis thanks to Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on 1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime, powertrain, and 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give them the chance to earn your business today on Atlantic Boulevard or at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Need to enhance your home's curb appeal? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Replacing with new stone pavers will transform your driveway into a stunning work of art. Say goodbye to unsightly concrete and hello to beautiful, durable pavers that last for years. Visit Stonecore today and let's beautify your home together. Stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
This election, if you want someone who will take care of the messes, someone who isn't afraid to get dirty and work in the trenches, someone who will pump out the problems and prevent future ones, vote for the Duck.
Need your septic tank serviced? Call DuckDuckRooter, your 5-star Google-rated septic company. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com.
I approve this message.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We could call them helmets and cleats, but they don't wear cleats.
Those shoes are hot.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
From the First Coast Lighting Studios at 1010XL.
Weekdays noon to 2.
You think you could join us?
Former Gator and Jaguars linebacker Mike Peterson and Mandarin standout and Gator cornerback Fred Weary will be inducted into the Florida Georgia Hall of Fame. For tickets to the celebration lunch Friday, November 1st, go to GAFLJax.com.
When you're injured, you probably have more questions than answers, and all you really want is to feel better. This is Joe C., and I certainly can identify. Well, thanks to Rebound Rehab, I bounced back from a serious case of ankle tendonitis to feel pain-free. And they can do the same for you. 8 locations across the First Coast and a team of physical therapists ready to help. From laser and radio pressure wave therapy to aquatic and massage therapy, they can offer real solutions to help you rebound. Log on, reboundrehab.com, and start your path back to pain-free life.
Yo, it's your boy E.T. Have you been betting and winning on mybookie.com? If you haven't bet with MyBookie yet, they're still running that double deposit bonus. Just sign up using my promo code 1010XL. We're on to NFL Week 6. There are a ton of college matchups that run through the weekend. Get some skin in the game. You should certainly have your eye on the spread for Florida, Tennessee on Saturday night. Then you know we play the Bears to kick off NFL Sunday morning, and we're probably going to be a slight underdog. If you think we can win in London, bet it. But then the Surging Commanders play the Ravens, the Cowboys play the Lions, and then for Sunday Night Football, the Bengals are traveling to New York to play the Giants. For a limited time, MyBookie is still running that double deposit bonus. Use promo code 1010XL to claim that bonus. That doubles your money on your very first deposit. You heard that right. Double your money using promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Make this season your winning season with MyBookie. Come on, somebody.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler.
RJ Saunders here, sports lovers. I recently took a tip from Frank Frangie when I needed to send flowers to my mother. Frank told me that Kuhn Flowers is the only florist he ever uses. So that's what I do now. I use Kuhn Flowers. Find them online at kuhnflowers.com.
Tailgate special alert. 3 pounds of marinated chicken, 2 pounds of marinated steak tips, 2 pounds of fresh ground beef, and 2 pounds of homemade sausage for only $80 to feed your crew.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
There's just some songs that kind of get you keyed up for kickoff, don't they? Right? And now, right? There's just some songs that get you going just a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tottenham Stadium. Or maybe it's the closer sprinting in from the bullpen. Maybe we're about to get to kickoff. Maybe we're about to introduce the lineups. Maybe it's Game 6 of the NHL. It's just some songs, bro. You play them and you get you ready to go.
Yeah, this is definitely one of them.
This is one of them.
You got to have paint on your face.
There's a few of them.
You got to have that walk.
There's a few.
And you got to be able to do what you're going to do.
There's a few. What was the Riley back in the day when the Demon Deacons were terrorizing the ACC? Did y'all have like a... Was there that like? Yeah, do you have like a? Did they have like a song that like indicated going to the fourth quarter or the they've all got one. The Wisconsin jump around, this one, that. Did y'all? They have anything there? Or did y'all sing a hymn?
We just prayed.
How great thou art? Would you do it?
No,
do how great thou art?
Unfortunately, about 2/3 of our student section had left by that point, even if we were winning. So there wasn't a lot of fourth quarter tradition there.
I'm going to give you a stat I think is going to surprise you, Riles. In the last 20 years, what do you think Florida's record is against Tennessee?
The last 20 years?
Yeah, last 20 years. What do you think Florida's record is against the Tennessee Volunteers in the last 20 years?
14-6.
Yeah, 18-2, Riley.
In the good?
Yeah.
Wow. 18-2?
Right?
Wow.
Shazam.
It got me. That got me.
Well, this is where I send this. Yeah, and this.
Wow.
Well, of course it does, and this is where I send I send them. They're all out there right now, Riley. They're just waiting to jump on this text line after they use their Google machine and they look at the results here just to tell me how crazy I am. But no, let's see. Tennessee beat Florida in Knoxville in 2004. Beat them 30-28. That's the game I'm pretty sure we got ripped off, where Dallas Baker got called for a penalty after the other guy hit him. Nonetheless, okay? Tennessee beat Florida in Knoxville in 2004. Florida then proceeded to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 straight in the series. Tennessee beat Florida again in Knoxville in 2016. The Gators proceeded to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight after that. Tennessee beat the Gators in 2022. So 2016, 38-28 Tennessee. 2022, 38-33 Tennessee. The only 2 wins against the Gators in the last 20 years for the Vols. There's got to be something to that, no? That spans eras and coaches, and what gives?
Yeah, you've got all. I mean, you had the Lane train there for a year.
They've gone through them all. Florida's been good and bad.
The whole thing.
Yeah. Florida's been bad at times and good at others. They've been national title good for even a portion of that. But, yeah, it's not like, this is Alabama, or like Florida, Kentucky for all those years, or Alabama Vandy or Tennessee Vandy for that matter. That's an amazing run. And so does that, these guys, there's kids on that team that literally weren't alive the last time, when Florida started this 20-year stretch. But does that, permeate, do you think? Are they aware of this?
For fans and coaches, probably. For players, not as much.
Yeah. Players know.
Not as much.
Well, players, 2 years ago, Tennessee won in Knoxville. Last year, Florida won in Gainesville. For them, it's just the back-and-forth series. But,
correct.
Man.
Yeah, players don't think about that stuff as much as fans do. But this is going to be an interesting matchup because I feel like Tennessee's been not spiraling, but it hasn't. The OU win was good. The Arkansas was just Nico's been fine. I mean, their passing game has just struggled. It's just not been what it has in the past. Now, this game to me is interesting because you've got Florida's given up a ton of yards on the ground. They're not good stopping the run. They haven't been.
They were absolutely terrible until UCF. They somehow held UCF to 100.
But even that, they're still giving up 170 a game,
100%,
175 a game.
Agreed.
So they gave up 300 plus against A&M. That's what worries me when Tennessee has become more of a run heavy offense, and you're looking at that defensive line in front seven for Florida. That to me is a huge factor. But then, two, Graham Mertz has been incredibly efficient, right? I mean, he's leading the SEC in completion percentage. I'm not saying he's the guy, but he's solid. He's not turning the ball over a ton. And Florida's offensive line, I was looking at some stats earlier this week, and I was impressed to see they're second in the SEC in sacks given up. They've only given up 4 or 5 over the year. And so, if Florida can keep the ball in their hands and move the ball and have long, sustained drives, whether it ends in field goals or touchdowns, it gives them a better shot. I do. I really do think so. I just worry about that defensive line for Florida. If Tennessee can start popping off 5 to 7 a clip running the football, to me, that's the most draining way to lose a football game as a team, when Florida can't get on the field, and then when they can, they feel like they got to press because that's a real thing. You got to think defense needs a break. Defense needs a break. Keep the ball in the field, let them catch their breath, et cetera, et cetera. And it starts to play into your mind as an offense of what you have to do and you start pressing. So that, to me, that's my worry for Florida. But good gracious, 18-2, I did not know that, and that it gives you a little more hope for the Gators this weekend. And they're coming off 2 2 wins. I'm not saying they were like the best wins in the world, but
yeah, that's pretty.
They're 2 good wins. So like the confidence level's higher than it has been earlier this year with Florida.
Yeah, I read something somewhere, Riley, that Oklahoma figured something out defensively against Tennessee, and that that Arkansas was able to mimic that. So the problem with Florida is, can they first of all, are they smart enough to spot that? Second enough, are they smart enough to coach the kids to do it? And third, are the kids good enough? I personally, I think the talent down there is probably a lot better than it's being coached, and that they are showing up on the stat sheet.
Well, here's what Heupel's offense, as we all have seen over the years, is incredibly creative. It's spacious, right? It lengthens the field east and west, and it provides space for their playmakers to get the ball in space and then, get jiggy and go north. Like that's kind of how they do. And when you're struggling throwing the football, it does make it easier from a defensive side to play a little tighter on the outside, make those throws have to be more accurate and play less zone to where he can just get it into space and have to be accurate throwing the football. And then by doing that, you can get more people in the box and have that extra hitter coming down from the safety side to protect against the run. And we talked about this a lot when it comes to these kind of games and quarterbacks that are young and inexperienced and struggling a little bit throwing the football. I've always been a proponent, if I was a defensive coordinator, because I hated it as a quarterback. In the first quarter, I'm lighting them up with blitzes, and I'm locking them down on the outside and be like, all right, show me you can be accurate with pressure and man coverage. And then if you can, then we'll have to back off and reevaluate. But if you can't, I'm going to keep coming at you and getting you off your rhythm.
I like it.
That's what I would do.
You know why? By the way, that's also the same plan that I would employ for the Jaguars against rookie quarterbacks the next 2 weeks, just as an aside. Listen, here's what I think. I think Florida's going to show better for themselves than they did the first 2 times they had opportunities against ranked opponents, and Miami and Texas A&M blistered them. I think that they'll stay within that 15.5. I think this will be a game. I can't, based on the mountain of evidence, can't predict Florida to go to Tennessee and beat a top 10 team, but I do think that they're going to play better than they did those first 2 cracks earlier this year. So, we'll see on that. There's we got a pretty decent week overall. So let's hit on a couple of the big, national games, and one of them is going to be Ohio State and Oregon, and I guess we're going to find out.
I haven't watched Oregon this year.
I haven't either.
Somehow they're number 3 in the country.
Yeah, Ohio State's 2, Oregon's 3.
Yeah,
both in the Big Ten now. Don't forget.
Both in the Big Ten, and we also have a big SEC matchup with Oklahoma, Texas,
and Ole Miss, LSU,
But yeah, Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State. We're watching 2 of the most talented freshman wide receivers in the country this year that I've seen in a long time, between Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith, which just continue to throw up highlights every game. And we all knew coming into this year Ohio State was going to be really good, and they have been really good. I just don't know what Oregon is. I really don't know what Oregon is, and they haven't been really tested either. And it's how a lot of these Big Ten, we know how the Big Ten seasons start, right? It's always pretty soft. Everybody gets really highly ranked, and all the games get built up to be top 10 teams. And then we start to see who are the real big boys, like who's the actual contenders and who's the pretenders as they start playing each other. I don't have a ton on this game other than I'm going to watch the heck out of it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I want to see what Oregon is.
Those 2, I see what you did there, by the way. Texas-Oklahoma doesn't feel like an SEC game. Then I threw in like 2 of the staunchest old-time SEC schools that you could. So, but without going real deep, give me a winner, Texas-Oklahoma. Give me a winner, Ohio State-Oregon, and give me a winner, Penn State-USC. And then if there's still a rolling lock from Catlin Truck Accessories left after all that, give me that too.
I like Texas. I haven't seen enough out of Oklahoma that makes you comfortable, and it looked ugly against Auburn. I'm loving watching Texas. We're going to see Quinn Ewers again, right? He's back, so we're going to see him come back, and he's played fantastic all year. I like Texas in this for sure. The USC Penn State's kind of interesting. again, like I've watched USC a little bit, haven't really watched Penn State at all. I want to. This is one where I think USC could get them. I'm going to go. I'm going to go USC. That's kind of who I had notched as the upset pick of the week. I mean, Penn State's 4-0. We're playing at USC, and they came off a terrible loss to Minnesota. But I think I would see that as looking ahead to to next week this week against Penn State. I think they're going to be dialed in. I'm going to go USC here on this one.
All right. That would be the rolling lock, I guess. That's kind of an upset.
That was it.
Well, there you go.
That's rolling lock. I want to see those California boys step up against the top 5 team at home.
Man, you know what? And we'll talk about this another week. Your ACC race is going to be very, 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 very weird. I mean, you got let me give you a team no one's talking about. And here's their schedule. Home against Cal, home against Syracuse, at SMU, home against Virginia, home against Clemson, and then finish against Louisville and Boston College. But, Pitt is still undefeated at 5-0. And Pitt has been to that ACC championship game in the last few years. That's just another one of these flies in the ointment that are out there. I don't know. I was surprised to see them still undefeated.
I would love to back up the ACC.
Yeah.
It's just ugly right now.
It's just a lot of mediocrity. That's right. I don't disagree with that.
Except Clemson. I mean,
I agree with that.
They
can play. They could win a playoff game.
Clemson found something. They had one bad half against Georgia, and then after that, it's kind of been on.
Yeah, they're under the radar a little bit. I think people, because of the year they had last year, and then people who saw that bad half against Georgia, I think they dismissed Clemson. And I think as the season goes on, they're going to pick up wins and get better. I wouldn't be surprised if they won a playoff game. But anyway, a lot of ball until we get to there. Roz, appreciate you. We'll talk to you next week. Meanwhile, we roll on a custom tree surgeons Thursday.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
And when it comes to insurance, I think we all think kind of the same way. Every now and then we'll look and go, gosh, that's a heavy monthly premium. And then we add it up in our head and we're like, man. Well, that's why if something happens and we need you, you need to be there. And that's what Craig and Chris Kaprowski do. They take this stuff seriously. This husband and wife team have teamed up to take care of all of our insurance needs. When I say take care of, I mean it. Something happens, you call the Kaprowskis, they jump on it immediately, they get you all the answers that you need, and they help you out. If they don't answer the phone, they call you right back. It's called customer service. Kaprowskis don't take it lightly. If it's homeowners, auto, flood, boat insurance, small business, the Kaprowskis will be there for you at your time of need. And I speak from experience. They've helped me, they've helped my son, they've helped my daughter many different times. Craig.Kaprowski at goosehead.com. Craig.Kaprowski, Koproski, goosehead.com, or call 478-8422, 478-8422. Get that insurance checkup and get it today.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barra here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barra Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to barriorthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barra Orthopedics.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Lower mortgage rates are finally here, and thanks to the Fed and Loan Pronto, you can take advantage. Loan Pronto just locked in a homeowner at 4.59% APR. That's the lowest they've had in 2 years. So whether you got your loan last month or last year, time to call Loan Pronto. Dump that high-rate loan, and you can lock in at a lower rate. You can do it fast, virtually no paperwork, usually no appraisal. By the way, no limit on how many times you can refi. Get started. Use this opportunity. Maybe just cash out, wipe out your credit cards. What about a refi? Get 50, 75, 100 grand or more out of your home. Your home. Use that to pay off all your high-interest debt. End up with just one low monthly payment, easy to manage, and money saving. Act now. You can even skip your next 2 house payments. Purchase loans available, VA streamlined loans available, all with Loan Pronto. So call now, get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. It's Loan Pronto at 999-1508, 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com.
Is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 10th, 1951, the two-time defending champions, the New York Yankees, beat the New York Giants in the Baseball World Series in a 4-2 series victory.
Stevie Beatrice from Beatrice Plumbing here. A lot of plumbing companies say a lot of things. We focus on what customers say. Like who a few weeks ago, Donna, said the entire experience was the best fix-it experience she ever had. Or Chris, whose hot water went out on a Saturday and he thanked us for getting it fixed that night. Because that's the difference when you hire a real plumber. They show up to fix the problem. So next time you need a plumber, remember Beatrice Plumbing. Because real plumbers fix problems real fast.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mack and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars, to trucks, to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm Mack with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? We should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, unexpectedly, light beer.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
For Jag head coach Doug Peterson, that monsters of the Midway Bears defense will prove formidable.
They're one of the top scoring defenses, obviously, since they got Montez Sweat, and rightfully so. He's a great player, great edge rusher.
Jag quarterback Trevor Lawrence looks forward to tight end Evan Ingram getting back on the field.
I've obviously been trying to work Evan back in, and hopefully everything goes well this week and he's able to get out there. If he can go, obviously he's a huge part of our offense.
The Jaguars plan to sport their Prowler throwback uniforms again in Week 15 when the team will host the New York Jets. Jaguars will also debut an alternate shell white helmet, which incorporates Jacksonville's current logo when they host the Minnesota Vikings in Week 10. At your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguar update, I'm Sam Nelson.
10XL is presented by Barra & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, how about some fun with numbers, at least from the Florida perspective of the Florida-Tennessee matchup, and then we'll move on. But somebody sent me to this after we had our conversation. E, this is interesting. You ready?
I'm listening.
We're just rocking in today, boss.
Yeah.
What you doing in there, man?
You got to be diverse with the musical selection.
You're coming hard, man. You're hanging out with your wide array of friends, my friend. Yeah. They weren't playing this in the Valorant house as a boy. They were playing this around my parts. This is like the going deep too, right? It's not more of a deep cut.
The rain.
Yeah.
So
Someone's telling me that's not deep. Led Zeppelin, you idiot. Hey, at least I knew it's Led Zeppelin.
That's deep for your boy.
Yeah, for you.
Definitely.
That's deep. That's not some pop song from Led Zeppelin.
No, sir.
You guys to know. If you know, you know. All right. But here's a little perspective. Courtesy of the Shazam Spotlight. Brought to you by ShazamAuto.com. Truck guy here. Happy to tell you about the Murray Ford Superstore and my friends there. And would just kick you right in the fanny if you're thinking about getting a truck. If you don't stop first at the Murray Superstore, Stark and Kingsland. But here's some perspective, okay? From the Florida and Tennessee side. A 13-year-old Florida fan has been alive for 11 victories over Tennessee. A 68-year-old Tennessee fan has been alive for 10 wins over Florida.
Shazam!
55-year gap in getting the same amount of success. And it just speaks to these numbers, these overwhelming numbers that I've laid out as a reminder, right? I mean, Riley follows college football. A lot of you do out there. Like I said, when I tell you Florida's beaten Tennessee 18 of the last 20 times, you scrambled with the Google machine to tell me I'm an idiot and I need a new sports almanac. But yeah, that's how dominant that's how dominant it has been. All right, the hurricane wreaked havoc on the Tropicana Field roof. You know, and sadly, too, that was set up, I think, for, like, some of the EMS and stuff to be based from.
It was definitely like a staging area or something.
Yeah, some sort of station and staging area, and the roof shredded right off by a hurricane. I've been watching some of the highlights, you know, from, like, overnight, you know, south and west of us, and, yeah, it ripped across pretty brutal. We dodged a bullet here. I'm going outside. It feels like, you know, kind of just like a nor'easter a little bit. I know there are some of you out there that have battled some issues, so hopefully the fewer the better. But we are out of any sort of significant, look ahead danger. It didn't stay as north as it looked like it would. So, you know, thoughts of having 8 to 12 inches of rain and 70 and 80 mile an hour wind gusts, those never materialized here on the First Coast for the most part. So, but there was some hurricane damage, and by the way, it has affected the Jags schedule just a little bit. They are pushing back their departure time. They're supposed to leave, I think it was like 5:30 today, maybe. They haven't been more precise, but they did send out word they would be pushing it back just a little bit. And this is primary from the standpoint they were going to do media tomorrow in London, and instead the guys are not going to have any media public obligations. They'll do all those on Saturday, which kind of tells me they're going to change the schedule around at least just a little bit, something that Doug Peterson, I know, probably doesn't want to do and said yesterday in his presser he didn't think that they would have to do. The baseball story is going quite swimmingly for the clan of the Hick Bear. Last night, go on Hicken's Twitter. It's cool. Y'all out there, go on there and you can kind of live a little bit vicariously through what an awesome last couple of days it must have been for all those dudes. But you know, you can see he's got a post from when he's down on the field, which means he got to go down on the field with Murph before Murph threw out the first pitch. I also saw them; they were rolling on the last out, and then him and Murph and this kid. The Boy King jumping and dancing around, and good for them. Off to. I said before, I don't know what the word is. I'm not jealous, but I wish that was me.
And the seats ain't bad at all.
No, they're sitting with a Mets legend, so yeah, there's that. How about a day of that though, gang? What if you're out there in that sweet spot right now, where your kids are older or growner than they were when they were little? Imagine sitting there with your son, and on the left side is like a baseball icon. And you're like talking, intimately about strategy and everything else along the way. Imagine that.
And this is how you know Dan was vibing. The hat was backwards, Jeff.
Oh, I told you he was going to. I told you this is number one.
The hat was backwards.
Y'all can ask him without me. You can ask him without me. That's number one.
The only thing I could say could compete to that is when when Jacksonville got the Jaguars, as far as sports fandom moments.
Yeah, that's not a game, so I get you. I think, you know what? He's going to say, for the good of the community and his mogul status, that it's the Jags getting the team, and that's going to be a lie.
But this moment right here,
that last night was better than that. Yes, it was. And if he tells you different, he's just being nice and professional, and he doesn't want to in any way disparage the memory and the importance of that great Jag day. But no, standing at the pearly gates and opening up the book of life in front of him, last night was number one. It's not a World Series. Now, I will tell you what I can't afford. I can't afford this guy to go bebopping around like Timmy Traveler and now
go the whole way through.
Go to San Diego and then up to some World Series somewhere. But, hey, look, man, if you're going to go and you're going to take the time and the expense to go and to see him win just makes it that much better. And to see him clinch, they had never clinched at home at Shea back in the day, but at Citi Field, that had never happened. Taking the pictures and popping the champagne at home. So just what a super cool trip for them. Lucky devils is what they are. Again, it's not jealousy, because jealous has a
negative connotation.
It's like a negative, right? A bitter. I'm not bitter about it.
Like, I love that for you. I just want to be in your place.
Man, yeah. I wish that. And by the way, that's how. You count your blessings and short your memories are, because that was me at the World Series with my two sons, my dad and my brother, living the same dream, right? And that's the one great thing about baseball that offers you over those other sports. It's just a different way of life, man. A baseball game is a different pace. The collective intimacy of a baseball game is just different, man. They're all big and important. I'm not saying it's better or worse, but it is different. And so, yeah, you want to go. I'm Turtle's Jeff, but don't mean I can't, stalk a little bit. Go find something if I need to. Here's how it always happens with me and Twitter. I'm in these groups. I'll get a group text that'll have a tweet. They'll either forward a tweet or they'll include something that
I've even done that to you. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it happens all the time. So I feel like I get the best of Twitter without having to deal with all the stuff that I know would drive me crazy, and it would too.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the best of it. I get people forward me the lighthearted or the news breaking or the fun, and I don't have to deal with all the nonsensical people out there. The fringe, like 0.5% on the text line that have to get scolded.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you have to get scolded on the text line by me or E or Dan, and
we do it.
And if we're mean or ugly to you, understand you're in like the bottom.
You deserve it.
You're like in the bottom 1% of the people who text in.
If I got to come at you, man, you deserve it, bro.
That's right. You're in the bottom 1% of how either rude or aggressive or wrong or whatever it is that has caused people to lash back at you. Understand what that means. And we're not a bunch of rubes around here. Like, we got pretty good radars.
Yeah.
We're nice to people. People like us.
Yeah. At least you would think.
So if we're shutting you down, you're getting scolded on how you're acting or what you're saying on the text line, just take a clue, buddy.
Right.
Y'all in the bottom strata, and that's going to be at home, at work. That's who you are.
Hey, you know what's fun, though, Jeff? And I'm sure you've done it, too. When we do have to get out of character and do that, all you got to do is scroll up in those conversations.
And you find out a lot more.
You find out a lot more about that person.
Which I don't want to do. We want to just have fun as we go along in the morning. This is the drill. Let's do this. Let's come back. I haven't even done a football fix yet. I also want to play a little bit of the not play. I want to go into a little bit of locker room stuff with Doug Peterson yesterday, getting his team hopefully ready for a second straight win. You are listening to The Drill. It's a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. How appropriate, huh? Custom Tree Surgeons there. If you've got any trees down or property damage, always remember my friends at CustomTreeSurgeons.com.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here.
Gotta go to work, guys. Gotta go to work. We gotta go to work.
It was the point where they shifted into high gear.
Go.
It's the Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville drive of the game.
This feel good. That feel good.
On 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Hey, gang. Prosser here.
Telling you once again about Chad and Sandy Newman. Mortgage rates are down, creating more active buyers and sellers. If you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home before more homes flood the market, driving down prices. So maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. They can handle that. You see, Chad and Sandy can take every problem you think you have and replace it with a promise. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. The success stories are rolling in. Mike and Lisa in McCormick. We inherited a family home that came with equity, but also a mortgage. We needed to sell fast to avoid extra expenses on a second mortgage. We heard about Chad and Sandy on the radio and called. Everything they say on the radio is true. The home sold in 3 days for full asking price. Call Chad and Sandy today, 904-414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com. That's Chad, ANDSANDY.com.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Let's start the debate. Why would someone buy a new car from you? We have an exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on every new vehicle. We offer a competitive wow price plus free oil changes. How much will someone get for their trade? We offer more than $4,000 over KBV value. Well, we never lose a trade over price. Okay, when is the best time to buy a car? Right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter which side you pick. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, you get it all. Let us show you why we're the winning vote.
Bold City AC, heating that rules. Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options. Bold City AC, we got the crew. Bold City AC. Visit boldcityac.com.
Facing a DUI charge or even a boating under the influence charge? Well, I'm your man, DUI lawyer Malcolm Anthony at 285-4LAW. 285-4LAW. Once again, 285-4LAW.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Mia here. The name to remember this hurricane season is Pro Jax Roofing. Your neighbors have relied on Mike for 25 years to repair or replace their roofs. When you call Pro Jax Roofing, you only talk to Mike. No expensive salespeople. You always get the best price for your project. For the lowest insurance rates, a free wind mitigation report is always given with your roof replacement. Pro Jax Roofing wishes you a safe hurricane season. And if needed, Mike is here to help. Call today for a free estimate or go online at projaxroofingfl.com.
There are so many things I love about fall weather. The crisp air, the changing leaves. It's all so magical. Until my kids catch a chill outside. That's where Kohl's comes in, with cozy layers, warm jeans, and more. I found all the styles my kids need when the seasons change. Plus, I got 20% off with a coupon and earned Kohl's Cash. So here's my style forecast. Prep better for fall weather at Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end October 20th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
The Jaguars are back at Everbank Stadium to go head-to-head with the Green Bay Packers for our crucial catch game. Join us October 27th as we fight cancer through early detection, risk reduction, and awareness all game long. Lock in your tickets now by visiting jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you there.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my successful back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab Crab House.
57% of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida alumni say the club saved their lives. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida support over 5,000 local youths each day. Help support this work and have some fun at the same time. Join us at the Beaches Barbecue Bash, Monday, October 28th at ABBQ Atlantic Beach for barbecue, great beverages, live music, and an auction to positively impact our youth each day. Learn more at bgcnf.org/events.
I-9 Sports wants to make sure kids all over the First Coast can enjoy growing up on a field or in a gym. And right now, fall and winter registration is open. Find out what I-9 Sports offers across Duval, Clay, and St. John's. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. One of the follow-up areas to improve upon after the Florida win over UCF is explosive plays, says head coach Billy Napier.
We'd like to make more explosive plays. That's an area where we didn't quite hit our goals Saturday.
Florida State has been hit hard by injuries this season. Unfortunately, the trend continues. Wednesday morning, head coach Mike Norvell announced the status of veteran linebacker DJ Lundy.
Unfortunately, DJ Lundy is going to be out for the rest of the season. He's been a really good player for us, a great teammate.
They're playing basketball as the NBA preseason is underway, and the Orlando Magic are now 0-2 after losing to the San Antonio Spurs on Wednesday evening. Miami Heat were not in action. Orlando and Miami will open the regular season at Miami on October 23rd. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
It's 9:06 and it's 70 degrees. Your time and your tip is brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I'm definitely comfortable. There's obviously some uncomfortable things about it, just the nature of the time zones and the travel. And I think it's mostly just understanding that you're going to feel that when you first get there and kind of getting your body on track and being able to get on a nice sleep schedule early, because that time change can get you if you're not careful. So just trying to push through that first day, get to bedtime without sleeping too much so you can get a full night's rest and kind of get back on track. I think that's one of the biggest things. But just having the experience of going over there, you kind of know how to handle it, you know what to expect, you know how you're going to feel. You're going to feel a little sluggish, a little groggy once you get over there, but you'll settle in quick. And I think a big part of it too is getting a lot of your prep done while you're here. Obviously, there's going to be a few things to do over there to make sure we're ready to roll, but trying to do as much as you can here so that you can really just focus on your body and your sleep and getting ready to play on Sunday.
You know, we talked to Tony about is there an advantage now because they go every year? I think there is, because Trevor's been through that. And you can tell someone what it's going to be, but until you've been through it, teams take different tacks. The Bears have been over there since Monday. You know, the Jags have done that different ways and have settled on the best way to go is fly over there on, basically on a Friday, just one day ahead of time, get in there and play some ball. I think it becomes a big advantage that second week you stay because you're completely now in that biorhythm and somebody else is flying in and dealing with being tired and jet lagged. And that this case, it'll be the Patriots who, play here in the States, and then they'll go over to London next week where the Jags will already be, hopefully, resting on a victory. So just what does, it's funny. We know what the old standard is, right? Home field advantage. Vegas says it's 3 points, right? Now, if you see a point spread, you always assume 3 points going to the home team. What's the advantage in London? Does it exist for the Jags?
It's familiar to the guys that have been there. As far as an advantage goes, we still have to get over there and get acclimated quickly. But I think, staying at the Grove, the travel, all of that is familiar, to us. And that does make it sort of gives you a peace of mind, I would say, traveling over there. But you still have to, bottom line is when you get there, you still have to get acclimated, keep the guys rolling Friday, Saturday, and get ready for the game on Sunday.
I think last year they had to change hotels in the middle, didn't they? Wasn't there a story?
Because there's two different stadiums, isn't it?
Well, there is two different stadiums this time, too, but they're not changing hotels this time. I think they're staying.
But last time they definitely did.
I think they did. I think something came up. There was some sort of conflict where they had to change hotels. We see. Oh, by the way, my buddy Mark has texted. He's much smarter than I am. The word I was looking for was envious, not jealous. Envious. Envious of that fun they had. Not jealous of it. Feel me?
Yeah, I still kind of
feel
a little,
like
envy. Yeah,
a little bit, but not as envious is not as bad as jealous, right? Not as negative.
I don't know. I
You
feel
think
like
it's
they're
the
kind of
same?
the same.
All
yeah.
right, okay, well then.
But there is.
Sorry, Mark. He says no. All right, let's continue with Doug Peterson. Caleb Williams. Listen, at some point now, you're already 5 games in. They didn't play him in the preseason. But you're 5 games in. You're a rookie, but that green is, starting to shade up a little bit because you're getting more and more experience, Doug, on what he's seen in that progress.
Yeah, I think the quarterback's playing better. Number one, I think he's seeing things, seeing the field better, and we know the talent that he is, great talent, young player, and has the ability to move in the pocket and run and escape. And I think that's for them. I think there's consistency there. The O-line is playing better, and again, just this whole thing takes time.
All right, I tell you what, you better be on an increased timeline. All right, let me tell you something that needs to be sped up real fast on the timeline. This defense, this secondary, just absolutely busting open and allowing big, huge plays, like barely defended. You let the Colts get back in the game with just awful execution and schematics or whatever it is that led to it. Just pitiful. So, coach brought in the coordinator. And what gives with these secondary busts and your coordinator, Ryan Nielsen?
Look, we've had conversation about that, and we as coaches, we got to make sure that we communicate obviously better with our players and making sure they understand the situation of the game and what we're asking of them. So all things that are fixable, all things that are correctable, and we just got to drill down and make sure the players understand those situations and what we're asking of them.
Yeah, you can't have them anymore. We're out of time. There's no more drilling this or learning that. You go play good, efficient football, impactful football, heat-seeking football. Make plays. Be aggressive. Be smart. Play in position. Execute. Win your battle. Be physical. How hard is it? I'm going to dress it up with a whole bunch of other terms. There you go. There's about 8, 10, catchphrase words for you. Just employ those alone, and then let the Patriots get theirs next week. We got Vol calls tomorrow, but we'll bring in the titular Vol of the program, Mr. Tennessee. Oh, he's just fired up now, lady. Where are you? Are you up there already? Where are? Huh?
I'm up sitting in Kingsport, Tennessee. I had to go out and check on my stills this morning.
Stills.
Make sure we got some corn squeezing flowing.
You're getting in Vol call form already. Those are the kind of calls we'll get tomorrow. You hillbillies up there, you toothless sons of so-and-sos. Hey, man.
We better get that Nico right. Nico's got to be right this week.
This is just what Vol call sounds like, E. I mean, he's just to a T. It's perfect. Ted has probably called Vol calls in the past. Not our Vol calls, the real Vol calls, and right on cue would have sounded just like that.
Jeff, I need to know what kind of black-hearted person could live down there in Mule Day country and then not be a Vol fan. Can you explain that to me, please?
Yeah, I like the underdogs. I was a Vanderbilt fan. I'm not answering for you. You get it? You call tomorrow when this segment is open.
I got business tomorrow.
Oh, you do?
Some of us have to work.
Oh, yeah, we're not working. I'm down here. We're down here in a freaking hurricane representing Jacksonville, a beacon to the people, and you're questioning our work ethic.
Huh? Well, speaking of that, man, I tell you what, this situation up here, East Tennessee, Western North Carolina.
Brutal.
It's
people have no idea. It literally is unbelievable. Because of where it's tucked away, there's not a bunch of cruise ships taking photos. There's not a bunch of people seeing. It is, by the way, the response has been atrocious.
It is, and it's, everybody up here is all hands on deck. And as much as the game means, and it means a lot, I mean, seeing people that are in need and hurting like this, and even the stuff yesterday, man, that
Oh, they got pounding.
20 miles from my house, so I don't know if my house is still down there or not. But, looking at this stuff up here, you just got to say, thank the Lord for another day and hope things work out well. But if you can help these people, man, I'm telling you, help them no matter what it is, Jeff. But anyway, good luck. Good luck Saturday night. I want to put I really want I need a 70 burger one time.
Yeah,
if I could get a 70 burger on the Gators, I would be in peace.
The closer I get, I don't feel like it's the closer we get, I don't feel like it's happening. I don't think Florida will win, but I think they'll play with them. I think they'll keep it. They'll do enough to stay in the game.
I don't know, man. Our offense has gone to sleep. I think Nathaniel Hackett's taken over as our offense.
Well, we got we'll cure what ails you down there in Hogtown, buddy. You need to get there. He goes. Get him out of here. Dankgum redneck. Fire at the band. We got a football fix. Brought to you by Allstate agent Mandy Bowers in Mandarin. Not just insurance, assurance. That's what you get with our girl Mandy and her dream team, man, and been doing it for decades now. Expert in the field, can navigate you through what's a volatile industry right now, volatile market, that insurance market. All right, and also the home course, the Jonesy Creek Golf Club. Tee it high and let it fly. Man, whatever blew through, they'll get it spiffed up in no time out there at the creek and play where I do, the home course, the Jonesy Creek Golf Club. All right, the Saints are going to a rookie quarterback. Spencer Rattler is going to take over while Derek Carr is out. Carr, look, we talked to Doc Murphy earlier today. And Carr, he would think, would miss probably 2 or 3 weeks. Aaron Rodgers says he resents the talk he had a hand in Salah's exit. The Raiders are benching Gardner Minshew. Did somebody send me a text that we have video of Gardner Minshew being a booger eater?
I saw that.
Is that real?
I don't know. I ain't seen that.
I don't trust anything with this AI now, man. This stuff they can put together. Don't forget that. At some point, it's not gonna be something crazy. They're gonna do it on every little thing and get you. I don't trust anything I see on video anymore, E.
AI.
I don't know what they're doing. Michael Pittman Jr. is going to miss multiple weeks now for the Colts. I didn't realize he got banged up as bad as he did, but apparently a back injury. That's what we call injury to insult after we sent those losers home on Sunday. Let's see. We told you this a little bit earlier. I don't know why this would bother you. Jaden Daniels says he doesn't like comparisons to Lamar Jackson. Well, I mean, if you want to hang out for a while, I can find you one with Gardner Minshew or someone else. Jaden Daniels and Lamar Jackson, look at their stat line, are amazingly similar. They have dual threat abilities that most people don't have, and it should be looked at and considered, by the way, the most extreme of compliments if in your first 5 games you're being compared to a 2-time MVP. And by the way, he did not say any of this with any kind of attitude or, dismissively or not appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean to present it that way. That's not how it went down, but nonetheless. So the Patriots have benched Jacoby Brissett. They've gone to Drake May. They're 1-4 with Brissett, and that's enough for Gerard Mayo, right? Trying to kickstart their future. They play the Texans this week, so there are our rivals in the South about to go 5-1. That's Football Fix. You are welcome. Brought to you by the home course, the Jonesy Creek Golf Club, and Allstate agent Mandy Bowers in Mandarin. We'll come back. We'll see what's trending. I see him warming up in the bullpen. It's Jaguars Today. In studio next here as we bring you another broadcast day. It's Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday on The Drill.
The Drill on 1010XL. From the studios of Republic Services, we'll handle it from here. Mondays in the fall are made for talking football.
Let's talk football.
Football! Sink your teeth into Dandy Foods Postgame Monday.
Let's talk football.
Makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff on 1010XL.
Hey, make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball's in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer is early detection and prevention. And gang, 45 is a new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a non-profit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more information.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Discover the difference that local expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Visit their showroom at the Avenues and browse high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yo, it's your boy E.T. Have you been betting and winning on MyBookie.com? If you haven't bet with MyBookie yet, they're still running that double deposit bonus. Just sign up using my promo code 1010XL. We're on the NFL Week 6. There are a ton of college matchups that run through the weekend. Get some skin in the game. You should certainly have your eye on the spread for Florida, Tennessee on Saturday night. Then you know we play the Bears to kick off NFL Sunday morning, and we're probably going to be a slight underdog. If you think we can win in London, bet it. But then the Surgeon Commanders play the Ravens, the Cowboys play the Lions, and then for Sunday Night Football, the Bengals are traveling to New York to play the Giants. For a limited time, MyBookie is still running that double deposit bonus. Use promo code 1010XL to claim that bonus. That doubles your money on your very first deposit. You heard that right. Double your money using promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Make this season your winning season with MyBookie. Come on, somebody.
Start your week with a Hall of Fame breakfast.
Well, I'm hungry. How about you?
Join Dan Hicken, Jeff Prosser, and Jags Hall of Famer Tony Bazzelli for tons of football talk. Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida. Monday mornings at 7:20 on 1010XL.
Prosser here. I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us. Imagine watching your favorite team in your new Lifetime Man Cave, family hangout, or Lifetime's version of a she shed. And now Lifetime is expanding their replacement window division. Make your home energy efficient with their Energy Star rated windows. Enclosures, flooring, and windows to fit any and all budgets. Visit the showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let Lifetime be your home team.
It's one of life's most important decisions. If you're 18 years or older, you just got married, you just got divorced, you have children, you likely want to take care of your family. Of course you do. Hicken here from Matt Hinson in the Hinson Law Firm. I'm not the attorney yet. But have you done your last will? It's not the most comfortable thing. It's not the most fun thing to do. It's something you need to do besides getting your assets to the people that you want them to go to. Planning helps minimize income, gift, and estate taxes as well. Matt Hinson will listen to help you with some tough decisions. He'll provide you the info needed so you are at ease with your choice. The Hinson Law Firm. You have questions? Maddie's got answers. 904-527-1700. 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
If you want someone who will pump out the problems, vote for the Duck.
Call Duck Duck Rooter, your 5-star Google-rated septic company. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Everything about the game has changed, except for the most important thing. What you have inside. It is what drives the game. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything, turns an athlete into a legend. Gatorade,
Is it in you?
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
Electricians, innovators, and tech enthusiasts, listen up. Miller Electric is shaping the future, and we want you to be a part of it. From healthcare and data centers, corporate offices, aviation, and industrial facilities, Miller Electric is powering the most exciting projects in Jacksonville and beyond. We offer not just a job, but a thrilling career with great pay and incredible benefits. Visit us at millercareers.com to apply. Miller Electric, where your skills meet our vision and equal opportunity employer.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Wrapping it up on getting towards the wrap-up stage on a custom tree surgeons Thursday as the storm blows through. Jaguars Bears met 8 times in the franchise histories. What would you guess the Jags record is against the Bears in those 8 games, E?
I'm going to go...
It's not been a memorable series, right? Almost every team we play, there's a game you can recall if you've been around here forever.
Yeah, I don't remember much. Soldier Field or the Bears here in Duval. I'm going to go 3-5, 4-4.
3-5.
Okay.
You nailed it. The one game that I remember...
Give me something.
The game that I remember the most about the Bears and the Jags was one of the Gus Bradley years. So Chicago came in here and led like 38-0 at half or something with Cutler, 31-0. I think the final was 41-3 or something. I remember that one in 2012. But there's just been a lot of kind of just you know. We played them the very first year of existence. The Bears won here 30-27. Rashawn Salam, I remember that. In 98, the Jags won in Chicago. 2002, the Bears won here. No, 2002, they won in Chicago. 2004, the Jags beat the Bears here 22-3. What about a forgettable game? 22-3, Jags over Bears. Not even a breath of recollection on that. So anyway, they head to London for that one. The Mets, first team's in. They move on to the NLCS. It has not been a great spot to be in, winning the divisions and getting this extra time off. It's just not worked well. In fact, I think that we have not had a team go to the World Series out of the first round bye. In fact, if the Dodgers or Yankees win their series, they'll be the first with a first round bye to do so. So it's hard with the downtime, and so we'll see. But the Mets take advantage of the Phillies, and so they move on, and they'll face either the Padres or the Dodgers. They got a game 5 after LA won a I'll give them credit, man. That's a pressure packed game there now. You got to win last night in San Diego, and they did convincingly. Jumped on them early and just splattered them 8-0. Yankees won at Kansas City. They're up 3-2. Their game 4 is today. Same thing, Guardians, Tigers. Tigers won. They're up 2-1. Their game 4 today. So both Detroit and New York can advance. Dodgers and Padres won't play their game 5 until tomorrow. Man, I got this Daily's double take, and I'm happy to share it. I'm happy that Philly fan is having the awful time that they are. That's a chief rival. I typically don't take great joy in the other team suffering, but I've seen how Philly fan has been so sympathetic and empathetic of me the last 2 years as the Braves have gone out in the postseason to the Phillies or in other cases. So, yeah, I kind of like this. This is what being a Philly fan has been like the last 24 months, All right? Daly's Double Take brought to you by The Dash. You won't be disappointed there like Philadelphia teams disappoint their fans. It's the Daly's Dash. Double it up today. Yummy. 2022, Phillies blow the World Series after a 2-1 series lead. 2023, Eagles blow second-half lead in Super Bowl. Sixers blow Game 6 and Game 7 to the Celtics. The Phillies blow Game 6 and Game 7 at home in the NLCS. The Eagles start 10-1 and then crash and burn. So far in 2024, Sixers lose to the Knicks in the first round. Phillies lose to the Mets in the NLDS. Suck on that, Philly. Hope it tastes good. You want to see what's trending, E?
Number 5.
Hockey staying in the news right now, man. Hold on, let me get that right. Let me pay some homage to hockey real quick. Hold on. Where my drop?
I saw the Rangers won like 6-0 because of course they did. I mean, this guy here can munch on rust and sweat out gold.
As they say in hockey, let's
sure.
do that hockey.
What do you got?
Does the name Jessica Campbell ring a bell?
Yeah, she is a coach now, a bench coach for one of these NHL teams.
That is correct. Jessica Campbell, she made her debut as the first woman's assistant coach in the NHL.
It takes a special woman to be able to do that, man.
Right, it does.
Man, I've been in all the locker rooms. I'm not sure that the hockey locker room isn't the most debased, disgusting one of them all.
For real?
Yeah, not kidding. It's just different, just crazy, man. Hockey players are crazy. They take all them shots. They're crazy. They run hard. They chase women, drink wine, buddy. That's a hockey player, man. I ain't kidding. I'm just telling you. I'm just letting y'all peek behind. I got nothing bad to say. I'm not saying there aren't just, settled down hockey players. I'm not saying. I'm just saying of all the locker rooms get put into, I'm not sure that wouldn't be the toughest. But she was a player, right? She's a Women's USA
had to be
player. And, man, I mean, listen, strategy is strategy. Right? Especially if you have played the game. I mean, that's not, you don't break that down by gender or race. You break that down by smarts and like intuitiveness when it comes to both leading and drawing up plays.
Number 4.
One thing is there something that's on your bucket list that you have not done yet that you can see that you can foresee in the future? Like a big thing that you haven't done?
No, I mean, we joke about getting a hole-in-one. That's not something that you can plan and go out. But I got a blessed life, and I'm a simple person. I'm not a big jet-set traveler. There's nothing that I'm dying to do. Maybe take the fam to the Grand Canyon because I've been, and I think it's just the coolest place. And I know Miss P hadn't been. I know my kids haven't been. So maybe down the line when you got a slew of grandkids and stuff, maybe something like that.
Okay. A couple things that were on mine is for my 40th, I always wanted to go running with the Bulls.
Okay,
now
I know people that wanted to do that. That doesn't appeal to me at all. And now, by the way, Gimpy, you're not going to do that.
Now count that out.
Yeah,
That's
you're not doing that. No.
But another thing I want to do is go on a safari.
Okay.
Like I love to go on an African safari.
Sure.
And Uber, they've just launched their Uber South Africa.
Yeah, I'm not taking an Uber on the safari. Well, I'm going with the real guys.
That's what I had to do some research into it. So they have this program where it's $200 a person, and they'll take you on a safari. But it's a real legit safari, but for $200. And they're running it through January on Fridays and Saturdays. But it looks like it's a legit safari.
Well, I mean, it's $200 for that, but how much in a real safari is $800, $900, $1,200 or whatever?
My guess with this is you're not getting all the stops and you're not getting the education.
Either that or you're
literally
leaving,
just riding through.
Well, you're leaving money in the budget for the funeral because that'll be the other $800 that you spend when you go out into the safari, the African jungle. In an Uber.
I said the same thing. I ain't going to no safari.
No, if there's something that I'm not going to cut corners on, it's hanging out with lions and hippopotamuses.
For real.
Just saying.
Them hippos are something else,
They
man.
mean business, dude.
Yes, they do.
You know how fast and how many different ways you die in the safari, buddy?
Oh, man.
Huh?
Many different ways.
Do you know how many different ways you die? Yeah, so many different ways. You can be poisoned. You can be gored. You can be eaten. You can be clawed. You can be scratched.
You can be
drowned.
Oh, my goodness.
1,000. You can be stomped. You can be, they will get you. No. Man, you come up with a couple of bucket lists that they would be like on the Bizarro. Name the 3 things you never want to do. I don't want to go on this. I don't want to go on the safari. You know what I do if I want to go on the safari? You know what I do to stifle my urge?
What's that?
I go over the Dames Point. It's called the zoo, friend. Check it out. It's a hell of a safari. Look, it's a giraffe.
The average cost of tailgates were just released. And
okay.
For 4 people, who do you think has the most expensive tailgates based on 4 people?
I don't know. What do you mean most
like the cost for a person to tailgate?
So this is all based then on your local economy and what your cost of living is. So it's going to be San Francisco and L.A. and New York.
San Francisco's at the top.
Yes.
It costs about $292 per person to tailgate.
And that's eating the same thing that we're eating here in Jacksonville, but there's stuff just costs more out there because, it's so great to live there.
With $132 of that going to parking in San Fran.
Yeah, just everything. Cost of living is cost of living. It's not just how much is your gas.
And the lowest on that, it was surprisingly Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
It cost about $158 to tailgate at an Arizona Cardinals.
And what was San Francisco the highest? What
San Fran at $292 per person.
So it's more than $140 more than. Where's Jacksonville?
Good question. I went.
Okay,
I
it's not
researched
everyone.
that.
I got you.
No, I got that.
Oh, okay.
The Jags, it costs about $185 a person.
For 4 though, not per person.
Per person, right? And so
per foursome or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. So $45 a person. There is no. You're eating caviar and drinking Dom Perignon if it's $185 to sit in the parking lot.
I was like, man, ain't no way.
No, that's for the group. That's for a floor or a car full or something because it does not cost that much to sit in a parking lot for the Jags game.
But these days, parking alone be about $40,
Yeah, but that's $10 a person, not $40 a person. I mean, you said $185, dude. I'm not kidding. You're eating lobster for that. That's what's trending.
2.
Oh, number 2.
Number
We got
2.
a lot more. Hell yeah.
We got a lot more.
Heck yeah.
There's been this craze. Everybody's been following Lieutenant Dan during the storm.
Oh, that's the dude hanging out down there in Tampa because he doesn't have. He's homeless and he gives up his little squatted boat there.
Get it. Yeah.
He doesn't have anywhere else to go. How did he make it?
Man, Lieutenant Dan fared well, man, and he ended up staying with his boat.
No, he stayed right there in the dock. Good for him. Well, I mean, what you got to lose if you're Lieutenant Dan?
But even more. One of these streamers is going to buy Lieutenant Dan a $100,000 yacht and a streaming deal.
These guys are crazy, man.
But these guys making crazy money.
I know, but what they give to the people and who they give it and why they give it, like no research. Man, what if Dan is on the run right now? Huh?
Well, I don't know if he's on the run because all the Tampa PD was trying to get Dan out of there.
I know, that's true.
They were trying to get
fair. They find a warrant and get his butt out of there.
Dan said he wasn't budging.
All right. Number 1.
And number 1, kind of to piggyback off of that, now that the storm has passed, although we weren't affected as much as we thought or could have been, there's been many people that has been affected. So help out your neighbors if you're able to. Help out your friends. Help out those in need. Because
always, by the way.
Absolutely.
Not just let this be a reminder of how we should be treating each other every day.
Absolutely. Now, if you hate your neighbor, that's a different story.
You can't hate your neighbor now. If you hate your neighbor, you got issues you might not know about.
Absolutely. But you know what I'm saying? Like help people out because there are those in need that didn't fare as well as we did.
I second that thought, and we'll conclude what's trending with that. That's today's top 5. We'll be back, put a wrap on this show, cool it down, and hand it off to Jaguars Today coming up next. A custom tree surgeons Thursday on The Drill.
The Drill from the studios at Republic Services. We'll handle it from here.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety. There is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Hey, gang, imagine having a doctor available to you any day or any time. Hicken here from my friend and doctor, Rick Townsend. I've been going to Doc T for, a couple decades. He decided to take a leap into a new and exciting, more personal world of medicine that allows him to have a better relationship with his patients, and I sure am going with him. If you need an appointment, per se, and you're trying to get an appointment, you're not feeling well, usual doctor's office, we'll get you in December. Not with Doc T. If you're not feeling well, you get in right away. You got a medical emergency, here's Doc T's personal phone number. He'll get right back to you 7 days a week. It's kind of like being a member of an exclusive golf club, but the cost will surprise you. And as far as physicians, I think Rick Townsend is the best. Navy trained, graduated from Wake Forest. Doc T's been a fixture in our community forever. So If you need yearly physicals, office or virtual visits, cancer screenings, referrals to specialists, hospital follow-ups, you name it, Doc T has you covered. Find out how you can take away your health worries. MyPVConcierge.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Attention veterans, the Fed has done it. They've lowered interest rates, the moment we've all been waiting for. And at Loan Pronto, they've lowered mortgage rates along with it. It's Prosser here for my friends at Loan Pronto. Listen, if you're a veteran with a current mortgage rate over 6%, Loan Pronto can do a streamlined refi, lowering your monthly payment with no income verification and no appraisal. Veterans can now access up to 100% of their home's equity and turn that into cash. You can get 50, 75, even 100 grand or more with no junk fees and no hassle with an APR in the low fives. So you can pay off all those credit cards, personal loans, and car loans. Veterans typically cut their monthly payments by $850. At Loan Pronto, they respect what you've done for our country, and we show it. Call now for a free rate quote with no credit pull. 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781.
A different path means a new hope for Miami football this season.
Find out what you need to know about the Canes on the Performance Painting Hurricane Report.
Keep an eye on the Canes as they strike back on 1010XL. Prepare, protect, preserve.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Hey, Hicken here for Lockhart Construction. That's a long-time Jacksonville business. I've told you about them for years, right? Shane Lockhart's dad started the company. Shane's guys all from here taking care of people who live here, people like the Hickens. And the Hickens love the Lockharts because the Lockharts do fantastic work, man. Not just, clients, but friends. Fast, friendly, affordable, clean. They're in your house. They're terrific people. They've done numerous projects at my house. Did my son's siding. I've done a lot of friends' work, too. Give the Lockhart family a call. Their family will give your family a better living experience. I say you unlock better living with Lockhart Construction. You got a need, a construction need, a remodel idea, give Shane a call. He'll call you back. 994-3865. 994-3865.
Calling all fun-loving citizens of Northeast Florida. Freedom Boat Club needs your help. Lisa the botanista has gone missing. She left a note that said gone boating. But here's the thing. Freedom Boat Club has 4 local locations. Julington Creek, Jack's Beach, and 2 in St. Augustine. And over 400 locations across the world. That's a lot of water to cover. Is she water skiing on the Ozarks, whale watching in the Pacific, or island hopping in Spain? Or hiding right here at the Black Creek Rope Swing? Or docking at the Conch House? Wait, has anyone checked Fort George Island? Too much to do on the water. So Freedom Boat Club is offering our best discount of all time, so you can help search. You simply make your reservation, show up, and have fun. I gotta go. I'm hopping on a boat to the fish camp for live music and lunch. Maybe I'll find the botanista there. Or better yet, maybe you'll join us with the best discount ever and enjoy boating made simple. Don't blame us when you start playing hooky too. Visit freedomboatclub.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sounds like you heard about our Mobile One giveaway. Right now, you can get a free Red Bull racing sign when you buy 5 quarts of Mobile One motor oil. And you can enter to win a signed undershirt from F1 champion Max Verstappen. Find Mobile One at any one of our 6,300 stores or on AutoZone.com. Ends November 18th. No purchase necessary for giveaway.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
See AutoZone.com for details.
AC replacement? If your AC unit is ready to go kaput, then it's time to call Florida Home AC. With over $3,000 in tax credits waiting for you on select systems, take advantage of it. Call 777-4300. Get Florida Home AC to cool you off.
This is Dr. James Perry, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguar head coach Doug Peterson doesn't expect the storm to delay the team's trip to London.
Now with this storm coming in, it's not going to affect us much, but it could affect just some timing trying to get out.
The Jag head coach has shared with his defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen about shoring up the secondary.
We've had conversation about that, and you know, we as coaches, we got to make sure that we communicate obviously better with our players and making sure they understand the situation of the game.
Suspended Jacksonville safety Tajon Gibson Sr. will travel with the team to London. Jaguar head coach Doug Peterson revealed on Wednesday Gibson was handed a 6-game suspension in July for violating the league's performance-enhancing drug policy. That's your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguar update. I'm Sam Nelson.
XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, as we cool down on today's topics and get ready to turn it over to Jaguars today, man, it's just revving towards us now, isn't it? Real quick, a 9:30 game on Sunday morning, such an important one for the Jaguars. But I want to cool down with just a little bit more baseball synopsis. We didn't talk much about the Dodgers win over the Padres last night, and what a big one that was for LA. It's hard for these teams. You know, we got some teams, some legacy teams here, some big brand teams that haven't been able to just assert their will. The Braves, granted beat up this year, but they whimpered out too quick against the Padres. The Phillies, the big bad Phillies, they didn't last long. Played 4 postseason games, lost 3 of them. They got a tea time with Atlanta this morning. The Astros, so we're so used to having them, a part of the postseason picture until the very end. They were dispatched right out of the gates in the wild card round by Detroit. It's not been a good couple of weeks for big brand of baseball. So credit the Dodgers for not joining the list. Their rotation is decimated. They're not the Mets got to be rooting like heck for the Dodgers. The Padres are much better than the Dodgers. If I got to play a 7-game series right now, I would much rather it be against the Dodgers than the Padres. Just because the Dodgers pitching staff is such a mess. And with that as the backdrop, facing elimination down 2-1 in what has been a temperamental series with the Padres, the Dodgers had no starting pitchers left. So they did the only thing they could. They used 8 relief pitchers to throw the 9 innings against the Padres. 8 pitchers in 9 innings. And you want to know the crazy part of it, E? At the end of the day, shutout. 8 pitchers throw 9 innings in an 8-0 shutout win. You want to talk about the little guy stepping up. Think about this, the billion-dollar payroll, the Otanis and the Betts and all these huge names in L.A. You know who aren't huge names? You ready? Names. If I read you these names without telling you what the subject was, could you even told me what group they share?
Probably not. Let me hear the
Ryan Brazier, Anthony Banda, Michael Kopech, Alec Vesia, Evan Phillips, Blake Trinan, Landon Knack.
Nah, I don't think I've ever heard any of those names.
I am a deep, hardcore baseball fan. It's the only reason. But there are names among here I would not have known. I don't know who Anthony Banda is. I wouldn't have known who Evan Phillips was. I don't know who Landon Knack is. I have not seen those guys pitch for the Dodgers or any other major league team.
What was that first name you said?
Ryan Brazier.
Do you know that name?
I'd heard of him,
Okay,
yes.
I feel like, and if I did, it was because of y'all.
Yeah. I've heard of Daniel Hudson is one who's a little more well-known. He pitched in there as well. But down to nothing for a pitching staff. Nothing, man. For 8 relievers to shut out. By the way, the Padres have been tattooing the baseball. The Dodgers should be dead and buried this morning. The Mets should be on their way to San Diego, and it should be over. Listen, the 8 runs certainly help. But to throw 8 relievers out there and shut out an offense that has just been rolling is, wow, amazing. So we'll have a Game 5 in L.A. tomorrow night. Look, if you're the Mets, I think you want the Dodgers to win. The Dodgers pitching staff does not look like it's built to go 7. And the Padres they got some mojo and some talent, which is a dangerous combo. But I don't know. We'll see. I really thought the Padres were going to finish that off last night, and they did not.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
All right, Tony, Mike, and the boys. I saw D-Rocco wandering around here. Going to bring you Jaguars today. You know, I think, like, the most positive thing I could see this week would be the offense continuing its momentum.
Sure.
Right? The offense coming out, give me a 31-point game, right? And to that end, the Bears' defense is good.
They are. They're one of the best passing defenses in the league, so probably the stiffest test from that perspective that the Jags have had through the first 6 games this season. We'll see what they do with that, coming off their best weekend throwing the ball of the season so far. But they are a bit vulnerable to the run. So we'll see if the Jags are able to really get that rolling here on Sunday against Chicago. But I think that is the key to this game is, can the Jags run the ball when they want to run the ball? Even when they, won the game on Sunday, they didn't run the ball to win it. They passed the ball to win it, and they needed to. Right? Like, that's where they were hot, was throwing the ball. So I understand why they would do it late in the game, but at some point, especially in a matchup like this, you're going to need to be able to run it when you want to run it.
ETN has a proven track record. Tank Bigsby has shown us what he can do so far this year, but we've not had that double featured game yet where both of them are impactful.
Not
like
yet.
One of them has impact.
Right.
Maybe Miami would have been the closest because Tank had the one big play, but a game where one has 123 and one has 106.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with the shoulder stuff that
That's
ETN's been dealing with, how much that's affected, how much of that can happen. But even with that going on, that Tank Bigsby has turned into what Tank Bigsby has turned into is as pleasant a surprise as it's not as pleasant a surprise as Brian Thomas Jr. already looking like that guy, basically from the moment he walked onto the field. But Tank Bigsby after that rookie year, where we were all like, well, I think maybe at some point this might click for him. Well, it's clicked.
And a guy who's done it lesser, part by the position, part by the opportunity, but equal kudos to Brenton Strange. I wrote him off. He did nothing last year.
He's been so good. And it was fun talking to Logs about him on Tuesday when we were checking the tape. And Logs has always talked about him as a blocker and how good he is as kind of that extra offensive lineman when they need him to be. But the role that he's had to play for the last 3 weeks with Ingram not being available, right? Like, it's just, they can put him, I don't know what exactly the plan's going to be when they get Ingram on the field for how they want to use Strange, because I don't think the success that the Jaguars have had in the run game has been an accident. I think that part of the reason they're having that success is Strange is as good a blocker as they have on the offensive line in those kind of situations. He's adding the element of a receiver on top of that. So I think, especially with the struggles of Gabe Davis that they're having right now in the offense, that they're going to play a ton of 2 tight end looks and keep Strange on the field, even if that means Gabe comes off a little bit more than maybe they planned on having him come off. Strange has just been too effective a player to not have him out there more.
And it'll be a stressor for the defense. Now, if you see Strange and Ingram on the field, there's a legitimate threat there that Strange could be a part of a passing play, which last year just wasn't.
They drafted him in the 2nd round. It's not like they couldn't have foreseen. This is what they wanted to see out of Brenton Strange in his rookie year. You didn't get
better onboarding, D-Rock. Yeah. All right, Jaguars Today is coming up next. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. It's been a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday.
I like being Jacksonville's team.
The Drill on 1010XL from the studios of Republic Services.